Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Vern to the bocce. What's the good? Whoa, what's the deal, my man?
What is happening, Frank Champion?
You know, living the dream day by day, night by night,
Yeah,
show by
man.
show. How about
Man,
you, my friend?
what's up, man? I am okay. Folks, friends, countrymen,
Ooh,
plebeians,
wait, you're not gonna do it?
welcome,
There
welcome,
it is.
welcome you all
There it is. I'm waiting
here
for it.
to the Sandbox Podcast Network, here to our show, the Pay Window Podcast. It is your boy, Vernon Somoza. You know who I am. You know what I do. I apologize for my bit of a somber tone here on this evening as we began tonight.
Hold
Myself and
on
my
before
wonderful
we
friend,
go
my
on. Before we
co-host, sir. Go ahead, do your thing.
just do it now. Let's get it out the way
Let's
because
get
we're
it
not
out
gonna.
the way.
Let's get out the
Sure,
way.
right?
Touch my tip. Go
Yes.
the other way.
Such a tip.
Let's get it out the way. All right. Now
Yes.
get back to what you was talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
So
is tough. Tough start,
it's
man.
it's been it's you know what, tonight is one of them nights where, right, oftentimes, and we pointed out, actually, before we get into conversation, let me welcome my friend, my good friend, my co-host, the man, the myth, the one and only. Apparently, this new thing he came up with, the whole effing show, Frank Champion.
FCD. Wait, Frank Champ. Damn, that's me. I'm about to change my name to that on here.
What is happening, man?
Man, listen. I thought I knew what this show was gonna be about.
Yeah.
You know, the last 2 weeks have been crazy with Vince
Yeah, the
returning
wrestling
back.
media has been cornered, man,
Yeah,
right? Almost
yeah.
daily, it's just been like, "Oh
Vince this,
gosh,
Vince that,
can we
right?
talk about something new?" And then this morning,
Yep.
or not even, it
Even
was
last
last
night.
night. So
Last night.
this news breaks last night, right? And, like, it goes fairly unnoticed because it happens late at night, and it's not, unfortunately, it's not a name that many outside of the small bubble knew.
Yep.
But once the news started breaking again this morning, it's like it caught fire, and the news that we're talking about is the unfortunate passing of Jay Briscoe. And that
rough,
is,
rough, man.
yeah, it is so, it's sad, man. It's so sad. Him and his children, um were involved in a head-on collision with two pickup trucks, and just, yeah, it's just the most terrible situations. And stories were coming out, and you're hearing different things here and there.
So
um
before you keep going on that,
yeah, man.
I mean, I know it's 2023, but it's kind of crazy how we've got received some of this information that I feel like we would never hear if like 10 years ago, 5 years ago,
Yeah.
15 years ago. Like I think I saw an article because I that's the one thing I've been paying attention to all day today because this is still shocking to me. I saw this article that had like the assessment from like the paramedics of who's been hurt,
Yeah.
what's happening there with like, there was flames and fire at the location. I'm like, how do we have this information?
Yeah, so
I,
some
I,
of this stuff is
it's
like,
crazy.
I mean, as before we were just chatting off air, right? Some of this
Yeah,
stuff I'm just like, look, right? It was like, look, I'm not gonna name his kids. I'm not gonna name none of that stuff. I'm not gonna name the
yeah,
road he was on. Like, can I tell
no,
you, all day I've been hearing people like, oh, his children. I'm just like, yo, some of this stuff, like, I get it. We're desperate to know because it's someone we care about, right? In some weird way,
right,
the
right,
community is hurting, and
yep,
our way of trying to deal with the pain is, I want to know everything.
right. Don't
But at
mind this.
some
Don't
point,
mind
it
that.
just
Go ahead.
feels like, come on, like, guys, this is a real thing, right? His wife put out a post that one of the homies shared, and it was just asking for
I think
prayers for
I think I want to I think I want to read that now that you
his
remind me of
right,
that.
yeah, right, like, see, like, something like that where it's like, okay, the family member sharing this, then okay, let's share that. But
Yeah,
it's
I don't
like,
mind that.
but like you said, though, I've been hearing reports about, oh, this is what happened and this, and I'm just like, wow, man, like, guys, you guys are
Yeah,
diving in deep, digging into this thing like we're trying to find out the culprit of the Biggie murders, right? Like, it's like
right,
y'all are going
right.
in
Like, this
trying
was
to,
something tragic, and that's all it was. This was
yeah,
something this man was a family man. Like, I seen a photo of him, and we did mention his name. You said Jay Briscoe.
Yeah.
I saw a photo of him. You go on Facebook, it's under, I want to say Jamin Pugh. Jamin's got to be his,
Is
or
real
Jameen. Is it Jameen or Jamin?
mean.
Probably Jamin.
I didn't know that, right? So here's part of the real truth, right? On the Briscoes.
Sure.
And we talked about this, right? I loved Old School Ring of Honor. I remember the
Yeah.
first show where Jay worked was it Jay worked Amazing Red, right? And
Yeah.
Mark was there as his second because
Yeah,
Mark
because
was too
Mark was
young to
too young
work.
to work. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep. Mark was
Right.
too young
I
to
I
work.
have the first show on freaking DVD for goodness sakes, right? Like
Yeah.
all
Yep.
that good stuff. But the Briscoes were a team, or the Briscoes were always going to be that team of like, if you were a connoisseur, if you knew the good stuff, then you knew the Briscoes, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you had to know where to find them.
Right.
And the Briscoes, a lot of people would argue the Briscoes names should be in the conversation of the greatest tag teams ever.
Ever. Yeah. Ever.
And yet it feels like the Briscoes will go down like the legends of Rucker Park.
Yeah.
Right? They'll go down like
like
they'll go
a
down like the He Hate Me's and the like
or
the Rafer,
even
I don't
or
know,
like
like
a
I
what's I gonna say? Like a Dan Marino, like never got to win the big one kind of deal. They never got their shot to be at the biggest dance of them all, even though they deserve to be there. Character wise, they were so
yeah.
unique. Could you imagine? I was listening to an interview on Busted Open Radio this morning where
Mm.
Bully Ray and Dave LaGreca were interviewing them, and Jay, Jay's the talker. Jay's the one that is can intellectually hold a
Man,
conversation, right?
Jay just could talk that talk. He could just
Yes,
talk a mile a minute.
yes, yes.
He could slang, bro. You had to put your boots on because he could just
Yeah, I
talk
feel
and
like he's
talk.
the salesman. Jay was the
Yo,
salesman.
like
Mark did the hard work. Jay was the salesman.
listen, yo, bro, you go back to those old ROH promos of like 8, 10 years ago. They were
And
like
we will, and
9-minute
we will.
promos. Like
Well, we won't go
dude,
that far. We
the
won't go to
homie would
those.
just they would just go off. He was just like, yo, hit play. And like it
Like
reminds me of like cutting promos when you're a kid. You're just going off on the promo, but they had something,
what was the
right?
word
Like
he said? Cosmetically pleasing.
cosmetically pleasing. And if y'all don't know, y'all gotta look up that promo. It's
Look
a
up the
great promo. It's
cosmetically
almost
pleasing
7
promo.
minutes.
Yeah.
But Jay just goes, it
Yeah.
shows you what that thing that he had, that again, all the connoisseurs would have been like, yo, that's the
Yeah.
good stuff.
So I
Yet,
found.
yet,
Go
as
ahead.
you just said, it cosmetically wasn't pleasing.
Wasn't pleasing. They
All that talent was just wrapped up in the most hard-nosed, thorough, official,
real. You have to remember
real
real. These are two dudes from Sandy Fork, Delaware, to some chicken farmers. They got
Sandy Fork
Sandy
chicken
Fork
farmers
chicken farmers. They were
with
chicken farmers,
with the
and but
heavy accents,
with the
with
accent, but they sounded like they was from Jersey or Philly, right? And they looked like they were from Jersey or Philly, but they were from Delaware and they grew up on a farm. So they
chicken
were some
farmers.
farm boys.
They were
There were some farm
legitimate
boys.
chicken
And
farmers.
what's crazy to me is that's how crazy the wrestling business evolved. Because if those boys were around in the 80s or the 70s, they would have been an over tag team, in my opinion.
Oh,
You would have put
they'd
them
have
up against
traveled
the Midnight Express,
everywhere.
put them up against the
They'd
Rock
have
and
been
Roll
they would have been
Express.
an MSG. They'd have been an MSG going up against Rock and Perez.
Everywhere. Exactly,
These
because they
two
had
chicken
that look of
farmers who are
two
just
gruff
psychopaths, the
individuals.
way they're dressed like two killers. Yeah.
Gruff individuals. Like you believe everything that they say and what comes out of their mouth. But I remember we started off, I wanted to share what his wife said. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
read
please do.
what she said. I'm also gonna share one thing. I seen this picture, man. I might put this at the end of the episode, the audio version, the
Mm.
video version. Here we go. I'm gonna add it to the stream. This one hit me
Oh.
hard, man.
Mm.
Picture that his wife took the day before the accident, because the accident was it was yesterday, last night, and this was the day before, literally the day before. And he was taking his daughters to cheerleading practice. He sat in there snapping a photo with his wife. You can see like her hand out right here in the camera, where I'm circling over with the mouse. And it's a beautiful picture. It's a man with his family, living his life, living his dream. My man has been able to support himself with professional wrestling, build a family. I'm sure this is probably one of his dream vehicles. You never know, right? But I'm
Yeah.
sure it was something like that.
Well, I mean,
Living a
all
good
the
life.
stories, right? All the stories of Briscoes are that every show they go to, they come in the Briscoe caravan with them and their families. They never went to
Right.
shows by themselves. Every show they went to, they was with family and kids in tow. Like they always went together.
Right. And it's awful because like this man and it hits different, Vern, because this man was born in 1984.
All
The
right, that
same
he's
year,
the same age as
same
us.
exact year we was born.
Yeah,
He's born in
man.
January. You were
That
born in September. I was born in November. We are family men. We are family men. I've got a
yeah,
daughter.
that
You've got a daughter.
that
You
is
know what I'm
just
saying? It's tough to see a man so young who is so involved in this their family's life now be taken away from some tragedy. That's always the worst part about it. You
yeah,
know, before we go on, let me read the
post.
post that she put. Thank you. Couldn't think of the word. She said, "We need prayers. Gracie is on her way into surgery on her back. Jamin, I'm gonna say Jamin. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. Jamin would want the whole world praying for his little girl. We believe in the power of prayer. Pray for the doctors and everyone working on her. Pray for her precious legs to move again. Pray for Jay Lee, who has some pretty serious injuries, but is stable in wrestling. Pray for Gannon waiting at home. Is Gannon maybe their boy? Gannon sounds like
The
a middle
third one,
name.
yeah.
Yeah. Pray for strength for all of us. We have a long, long road ahead of us. So that was the entire post there. What scares me right here, this sentence here: pray for her precious legs to move again. So like again, it's I don't want to go on and talk about the details of this
That's
car
it.
accident and stuff like that because it's not necessary. We're not sitting here and we're not forensic analysts or anything like that. We don't need to
Right.
do that stuff. But it's tragic. I it sucks that Jay Briscoe's gone. Forget the wrestler. Forget the wrestler. Jamin Pugh, the man, passed away and left a family and three children, like his wife and three children.
Wow.
That shouldn't happen to anybody, even if it's your worst enemy. You wouldn't wish that on your worst enemy.
Wow.
So that's like
And
that's the tragic part about it, bro.
see, so here's the thing, right? I think that this is the thing. I think that is probably the one of the bigger tragedies of this whole thing with Jay that probably kills me, right? And the fact that I have had to keep saying that if you were a true fan, if you were willing to dig in, you'd know these guys, right? You've seen their stuff, etc. And I think the biggest tragedy here is that is a that you I have to add that disclaimer because the Briscoes should have been a name that the world knew. The Briscoes should have been a name that people were familiar with, and not just not just thinking of the Briscoes of Gerald and oh god, Gerald and
You talking
Jack.
about Briscoes,
Jack,
yeah,
yeah,
Jack
excuse
and
me, yeah,
Gerald, yeah.
Jack and Gerald Briscoe.
You
I don't know.
wanted
I
to
was
be
drawing a
hooked, I
blank.
hook you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Right, Jack and Gerald Briscoe, right? But then Jerry tells a story that there was like a little heat at first, but eventually, like they understood that these guys took on the names, and it was at the tree, right? It was because someone felt that they embodied that spirit in them, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a disrespect thing; it was
Mm-hmm.
love, and so
Oh
like
man.
I thought that was cool,
Hmm.
and like again, the biggest tragedy is that the world doesn't know these guys as the Briscoes because they put on wrestling, they wrestled, and they did it all.
Yeah.
And again, right? Look, just us watching a promo tonight, right?
Yeah.
We both had moments where we both went because right, we live in a different world.
Yeah, we
We live
do.
in a world where there's some things you can and can't say, etc. And there was a lot can be said about the fact that Jay put out a tweet once that
Yeah.
tweet would come out to haunt him forever,
Right. That tweet did not allow
forever.
him. We talked about it on the show.
Yes, we talked about on
We
the
talked about
show,
the
and the
tweet. I
fact
got to
that
go back in the archives for that.
that tweet, even if it's not, I hope it isn't true, but that tweet might have been the cause of the fact that they never got a chance to be on excuse me, on AWTV over the last
Yeah.
year
Yeah, that was the rumor
because
that
of that
because of that.
tweet.
Yep.
Because some executive didn't like them, like that's the real biggest crime here,
Yeah.
right? It is, and that's as a fan. I don't say the real biggest crime. Excuse, let me not say that. That's disrespectful. The biggest crime here is that a man lost his life, and the children
Correct.
are without a
Correct.
parent,
But
right?
in the
But as
aspect of wrestling,
in
I
the
know what you're
aspect
trying to
of
say.
wrestling and the
Yeah, I get what
aspects
you're
of
trying to
our
say.
purposes, as two folks who are just here commentating on what's happened, right? Talking, sharing how we talking about this here.
Yeah.
As a fan, as someone who loves pro wrestling, I think the biggest crime there as a fan is the fact that I have to make a disclaimer and that the world didn't get a chance to see them in their glory, that we get to see them now that he's gone. And I
Yeah.
hope, right? Like I think it's cool tonight. There's rumor. I didn't read it, but apparently tonight Tony Khan tweeted that there's going to be a show being filmed in Jay's honor. Great.
Like a Jay Briscoe memorial show or
Yeah.
something. Sure.
You know what I thought? I was like, it'd been a great tribute. Play the freaking Briscoes versus FTR one. Play it on television for
Play it on
free.
AEW TV
Play it
for
on
free so
AEW
everybody
TV on
knows.
Dynamite at 8 o'clock. So that way them boys can daggone eat off
Yeah.
the work that they put in forever, that they put
For
in for
20 plus years.
20 plus
I
years.
mean,
Them boys put in work, man.
right now, if you're watching on the video version, you see what's on the screen. But in our audio version, for the audio listeners, get over to the YouTube version, please, so you can see that. We're showing old clips of the Briscoe brothers,
Yeah.
their tag team matches. This is a highlight clip. And it's funny because it's not funny, but it's cool because they have worked some of the best performers in the professional wrestling business.
Yes.
Some of these guys are now working. There's Jonathan Gresham, are now working in other companies like WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling, all the major companies in America. And these guys have worked them in at some point in their careers.
Yep.
I saw Daniel Bryan, Brian Danielson, whatever you want to call him. All right, let me get rid of this real quick to play the other one. We saw him, Tyler Black, which turned into Seth Rollins. I saw Kevin Steen, which turned into Owens, El Generico, Sami Zayn. So lots of names I saw. We saw Jonathan Gresham. There was another one, but nonetheless, they've worked a lot of guys. And AEW, I feel like, would have been a perfect home for those guys. Perfect home. Because we understand the stigma of WWE, just like that promo he said, cosmetically pleasing. We ain't too cosmetically pleasing for the WWE. I don't know what John Laurinaitis said, So it's like, so AEW would have been perfect for them.
Yeah.
The tag division that they had there with the Bucks and FTR and every other team that they've had there, you could have put the Briscoes right in there. They probably would have been 2, 4, 7-time tag team champions for them already. You never know. Like spots where the Acclaimed are, spots where Swerve and Our Glory were, stuff like that could have been easily taken by the Briscoes had they gotten the chance to do that, And I feel like that's the biggest, besides him losing his life, them being robbed of a chance to perform on television, to cut those promos, Vern.
Yeah.
Those promos. That's one thing also I wanted to talk about. We have a few promos that I want to play. We'll start with the mouthpiece one in a little bit. But
they were a tag team that so again, you've never seen them.
Yeah.
Go out of your way. They're all
Yeah.
over YouTube, right?
I'm
I
gonna
could
queue up
tell
the
you,
mouthpiece promo.
like, oh, watch A, B, and C, but the Briscoes went through so many transitions, man. I'm talking young Briscoes with the shaved heads, Briscoes when they started
Dread Briscoes, long
Dread
hair
Briscoe, right?
beard
And the
Briscoes.
beard Briscoes, the straight
What's
up
his name? Kung Fu Monkey?
Kung Fu,
Mark?
redneck Kung Fu,
Redneck Kung
Mark
Fu. Yeah,
Briscoe.
Redneck Kung
Yeah,
Fu.
redneck Kung Fu, Mark Briscoe. Daggone the Froggy Bow,
Yeah.
Mark Briscoe. You know what I'm saying? Like they went through so many different transitions as a tag team. When they fought each other, when Jay won the world title, all
Jay
these different
went on
transitions.
to win the title on his own. That's right. I forget
Yo,
that he was Ring of Honor. He was the one that was working Jay Lethal when Jay was coming up and becoming that guy for
when I
Ring of
dropped you
Honor.
on your pumpkin head.
Oh
Yeah,
my
man.
God, bro.
This tag team, they were
Yeah.
great. And but they weren't for everybody. And that's the thing about them, is that they weren't for everybody. As great
Yeah.
as they were, as awesome as they weren't for everybody. And it's you could say, is it that look for some folks? Yeah. For
But
some folks, they're just go ahead.
I feel like as much as they're not for everybody, you can't deny the realness of the Briscoes. Like, as much as you'd be like, even if they were baby faces and you go, I don't really like those guys.
Oh, they were
When you heard of
tremendous baby
Briscoes,
faces. They were tremendous baby faces.
when you heard a Briscoe promo, you believe the words coming out of their mouth.
100%.
They weren't playing wrestler. They weren't cutting a professional wrestler promo. Listen, brother, when I get you, what you're gonna do, and at the end of the day, when the lights go up, and there was none of that nonsense. It was them. It was Jay talking from the heart.
Talking that talk.
And that's what I. So can we go? Can we
Please
go to the
cue it
Terry
up.
Funk? All right, I
Cue
got
him
it
up.
ready. Boom, here we go.
Look this up.
This one's
This
called
is
Terry Funk Ain't Wear No Mouthpiece. This is on the Ring of Honor. Listen, Ring of Honor, do not come for us. This is AEW stuff now. Don't come for us. I want this to air on here so people who do watch our podcast get to see who we're talking about because they might not know who Jay Briscoe is. And I would like them to see these clips. So here we go. I'm going to play it. This is me pleading to Ring of Honor or Tony Khan again. So, like, I listened to the episode a while earlier today and I heard myself pleading to him and it didn't work. So here we go. We're going to play Terry Funk Ain't Wear No Mouthpiece by the Briscoe brothers. Here we go.
Reach for the sky, boy.
This Friday night in Cincinnati, Ohio, we got us one hell of a match. We putting our tag straps on the line against Kyle O'Reilly and Davey Richards. Team Jiu-Jitsu, Team MMA. It's crazy when you think about it, man. MMA done took over the world. MMA is the biggest shit going right now.
Taking that top of my boxing, man.
Well, yeah, MMA done took over. And I got all the respect in the world for the people that do MMA. But the shit that pisses me off, when you got Johnny Badass walking to the bar with his little tap-out shirt on. He went to the gym for 2 weeks, so his little muscles popped out a little bit. And he think he's God's gift to women. He walk around like his shit don't stink. I guarantee you, one of y'all little tap-out boys bring that shit down here to Sanderford, you'll be lucky to get out of this bitch alive. Now, Davey and Kyle, I ain't saying that y'all that type of people, but you got Davey Richards walking around with his little title belt and a mouthpiece in. It's pro wrestling, son.
Hey, brother, hey, Terry Funk ain't wearing no mouthpiece.
Hell no, Terry Funk ain't wearing no damn mouthpiece. Bruiser Brody ain't wearing no mouthpiece. Doing your little jujitsu, getting focused and shit. Talking about I'm focused. I'm kicking this bag, I'm focused for my match. Shit, that's where we different, boys. We a different type of people. We ain't got time to be focused. Focused. Shit, we live on a farm. We got to get shit done. We ain't got time walking around being focused. Does it look like stable thoughts go through my mind? Do I look like a rational thinker to you? This guy, I guarantee you, he ain't no rational thinker. Shit, we walk in there on Dr. Phil, he shit is. Damn, son.
My bad, I thought you was finished.
Oh, you killed that Jim?
Yeah, man.
Hey.
We're talking. Let me unload, my boy.
I think it's one more. No. Now, where was it? Where the hell was it? Last time we got in a fight at the bar with the Tap Out boys. Long story short, they tried to put us in an arm bar and get this shit. They tried to do a UFC move in the damn bar. Long story short, beer mug to the back of the head, and their girlfriends talk about we cheated. So all I know, they was getting carried out of that bitch, and we was sitting there drinking Yingling, waving bye to them bitches.
Hey, man, I thought we was talking about Davey and Kyle.
Davey and Kyle, yeah. Davey and Kyle. Hold it for me, Chief. Davey and Kyle, yes, sir. Team Jiu-Jitsu. Team MMA. Big match this Friday. Big match down Cincinnati. Y'all boys get you a few extra little laps in on the treadmill and shit. Do a few more bag kicks or whatever you want to do. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to smoke this Brutal Bob. Mark's going to drink that beer. And this Friday night, we going to whoop y'all's ass. And there ain't a damn thing y'all going to do about it.
Unmute. You good?
I mean, again, that's not real.
In
He didn't mean every word of everything that he just said.
single word. Mark going off camera, setting up the bottle. he finished that bottle. I don't know if you peeped that.
Yo, okay. All right, I'm like watching. I'm like, yo, I was like, okay, so that's not a stunt bottle. Clearly, that was a shoot bottle because
That was a
like,
shoot bottle, like whiskey or
gloop.
something.
My
He
man was like,
finished
gloop,
it.
gloop, gloop, gloop. That Jim
Shout out
Beam
to
was
Jay.
down.
Shout out to Jay for drinking Yingling, my favorite beer. Shout out to Jay for that. I saw it. I was like, oh snap, he's drinking Yingling. Oh, bro.
Yo, by the way, again,
I
talk
love
about,
it.
like I said, Jay slings BS a mile a minute, and he just starts stringing you along with some story about, yo, and he said, try to put us in the arm bar. And we took out the beer. I was like, wait, he had you in the arm bar, and then you had beer cups, and you cracked him in the head with beer cups. I was like, I was like, this again. This story is a story one of your boys is telling when you're like, wait, what? Well, homie.
What happened? Hold on. Go back.
Go back.
What happened?
Say this one more time. No. Check it. We was in the R bar, and then we had the cups. We cracked him in the back of the head, and we won. And it's like, okay,
Bro, it was such a great promo. And there's more. We're gonna get more.
But-
I don't want to stop talking about these
but
guys.
peep that
I love these
energy.
dudes.
What I'm saying is that energy
Yes.
they had, though. The energy he
Yes.
had was just, it was him.
This is what I'm asking you. Like, they never got their fair shake to be on television. Like they were on Ring of Honor television, which was an HD
That's it.
net access, wherever else they can Sinclair could find TV for them. They were never on a nationally televised, like when Impact was on Spike, or when
I don't
you know,
believe.
WWE.
Don't quote me on that, but I don't believe so.
I don't think they worked like TNA. Did they? Did they work TNA wrestling? I don't believe so.
I don't believe so either. Yeah.
I don't know. As a professional wrestling promoter who wants to make your business look as legitimate as possible, you don't see these two guys and go, I need these two on my roster. I just don't understand that.
But you know what though? But we have to go back to when that promo was cut. So think about that promo was 8 years ago.
Yeah, 2015.
Go back to 2015. Who's getting signed in 2015? Who's getting signed in 2014?
That's WWE only. Yeah. So yeah.
But look at the acts that were getting signed.
Yeah. They weren't.
Right?
It wasn't guys that look like the Briscoes that act like the Briscoes. It was prototype. Some of the Ring of Honor guys were starting to go there, like Black. They were Seth Rollins, who went to NXT, and like Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli. Those guys.
Look at all those guys. Look at
those
all
those were like prototype guys.
Yeah.
Body cut, handsome devils.
Weren't covered in tattoos.
Yeah, wasn't covered in tattoos. Skull dipping, drinking beers, smoking Black and Milds, Brutal Bobs. You weren't smoking those. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't. But I feel like you could have done so much with them.
Shout out to Jay, always having a Black and Mild on himself.
Oh wait, he's
all
over here.
Them promos. My man was like, I said, bro, I never seen anybody smoke blacks like that before. Black and Milds like that. Like,
oh man,
it's been a minute. Great. It's been a minute. So someone was like, yeah, I got this Brutal Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. So I'm still showing the a couple more clips. I want to jump into one more promo because we got 3. And like I said, with Jay, I don't know when we're ever going to get to talk about him again until we hear something else. So I kind of want to like just talk about him until we've exhausted it. So I want to play another promo. This is the one you sent me because I thought of the mouthpiece one.
Yes. So
you got this simple mathematics.
So real quick, right? So as I said, I go back with Ring of Honor to I was a big.
You were the one who put me on the.
Yeah, I was an early. Yes,
right?
I went to Ring of Honor live back in the day, y'all. I was banging on the boards on the aluminum.
Yeah, you were
plates, and I was out there. I was banging for Danielson, singing all that. Anyway, so the Briscoes, I was a fan of the Briscoes. Because the guy who got me into it was like, dude, these guys are like the Road Warriors and like the Midnight Express. Like he was like all these tag teams. I'm like, the same guys, and he was like, dude, there's nothing these dudes can't do. These guys are nuts.
Yeah.
And all these years later, they're a team that like you want to see them brawl. They can bleed. They can do crap with furniture.
They can literally do it all. Look what they did with FTR. The first match with FTR. Again, we talked about in the archives. Go back to a few, but
yeah,
it's there. We've sung their praises in that match. You said best match of the card. What was that? Super Card of Honor. One of the ones. I think it was around Mania time, wasn't it?
Yeah, Super Card of Honor.
It was one of them. One of the ones Tony Khan put on. One of the Tony Khan Ring of Honor pay-per-views. I can't remember the exact name now, but FTR Briscoes won. Those guys went to work, man. They went to work, and it was a phenomenal match.
FTR and Briscoes should have been built up on television.
Yes, but unfortunately, FTR Briscoes should have been for the tag team title, the AEW World Tag Team titles.
Yep.
That should have been what it was for, but unfortunately, it was just on a Ring of Honor pay-per-view for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships with a Twitter beef.
That was flames.
Story. And it still was fire.
So if you haven't seen them promos, them Twitter promos that the Briscoes cut when they was like, tell them boys come down here, come see me. It was money.
It ticks me off because they're telling you they can fill seats. They were the main event. They can fill seats with Twitter, social media. They filled seats.
Yeah.
So how does a company not see that and go, damn, they did this with social media. Wait until I give them 5 minutes on my television show.
I'm telling you, I really think that the Briscoes are part of the Rucker Park crew. They're gonna be part of the legends who will always talk
One
about
basketball,
well, I guess
tip to my
because
Lou.
like in my mind, right? I was trying to
Yeah.
think of like what sport, but I'm like, I guess basketball because right, you think like the legends of Rucker Park,
Yeah.
and it's like it may not translate to pro ball, right? It may not translate to the
No, I get what you're
NBA,
saying. Yeah,
but at the
yeah.
same time, who could deny those weren't some of the
You
most talented
cannot
players that ever step
correct.
on the court?
Correct. Hot sauce. Like
Who
a
could
hot
deny
sauce.
that
Yeah.
weren't some of the most talented players ever put the ball in their hand? What?
Yeah.
Just because
Right.
they didn't?
Just because they didn't play alongside Kobe Bryant and them doesn't mean they weren't talented ball players. And speaking of Kobe, I just realized that
Please, please.
this reminds me of what happened to Kobe Bryant.
Ooh,
Kobe passed
ooh,
away
talk that talk.
January of last year. Tragic accident, helicopter accident with his daughter. Remember that. 40 years old. Kobe was
Oh, wow.
40 when he passed away. Maybe a little, but in his early 40s. Yeah, because I think he stopped playing at 38, and it was 2 years later, and he passed away, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
So he
And the
died
sick part
tragically
is these
with his
dudes
daughter.
just won the titles.
Right, right. So it's sad. It's sad to think about, but I don't want to dwell on the sad. I want to give this man his flowers. I
No,
want to. So
please, let's
let's
give him
play
his
the simple
flowers.
mathematics.
So
I got
here's
the simple
another one.
mathematics
Here's one. Franny never seen this one. My man Frank Champion hasn't seen this. So
You
this is
good?
only a minute 47 to set
Yeah, I want
y'all
to see
up.
this one. I want a blind react to this
It's
bad
titled,
boy.
it's Simple Mathematics. And my man Jay about to talk that talk.
I'm expecting Scott Steiner math, but hey, let's see how we go here.
And if you think he's gonna be spitting, yes, he
Of
will be
course he is.
spitting. He will be spitting.
All right, let's play this up again. Please don't come for us, Ring of Honor, TK. Let this cook, bro. Please.
Facts.
All
Let's
right,
just have some fun, man. Honor the guy.
all right. I got the volume all the way up. Let's roll. Actually,
Seen here.
I tried to tell y'all, man. I tried to tell y'all how it was going down. Y'all ain't want to listen to nobody, did you? Now y'all act all surprised. People saying, I'm shocked. I can't believe Jay Briscoe won the world championship. What the hell's so shocking, man? I ain't been pending over 2 years. I dropped the big man on his big ass pumpkin and got the 3 count. It's simple. It ain't rocket science. It ain't even algebra. It's basic mathematics, man. It's kindergarten. Kindergarten shit, man. 1 + 1 is 2. The grass is green, the sky is blue. Jay Briscoe is the world champion. Ain't nothing hard to figure out, man. What y'all so shocked for? I told y'all how it was going down. I told y'all I'm serving these boys ice cold plates. You want some, come get some. What y'all shocked for, man? I'm the world champ. I ain't been pending over 2 years. End of the story. Basic mathematics. Kindergarten shit, man. Surprise. Come on, man.
Come on,
oh
man.
my God, bro! I love
Come on,
it's
man.
simple mathematics. It is simple. He said 1 + 1 = 2. The grass is green. The sky is blue. I'm in my head like, yo, that ain't even math. I love it though. I love it. Oh my God. I'm mad I've never seen that promo. I'm so mad I've never seen that promo. That is absolutely hilarious. Oh my God. Are you good? He's coughing over there. You good? All right, word. Bro. Oh my God. And that's what I'm talking about. The realness of the promos. Mark in the background, just filling up the gas tank and working on the farm.
Okay.
He took a
So
time to be
pretty
I'm the
much
champ.
every time you watch a promo with them, my man Mark is off in the distance. He's telling a story, doing something. And in this
Yes.
instance, he was just filling up
Working.
some gas.
Working. And it worked so well. You're telling me you give them boys 2 minutes, literally, them boys 2 minutes on TV to cut that kind of promo. and it wouldn't get over. Vignettes like that, you wouldn't give them vignettes like that. You give them 4 weeks of vignettes, and you're not telling me they're not going to win people over?
Ugh,
Come
man.
on, bro. That's why I'm like, there's no way these guys never got a fair shake. But
Oh,
it's
boxing. Just shout out to boxing shorts. Boxing short Briscoes. That was another favorite era of the
oh yeah, this
Briscoes.
is the ladder war. My God,
Ladder
this
war
match
eras.
here, ladder war. I paused it real quick. Ladder war, Briscoes versus Steen and Generico. I remember when you said, "Yo, Frank, you need to watch this ladder match." Because you know how much I love ladder matches. You got to.
Mhm.
I know you don't know these guys. You don't really know Steen and Generico. I know you've heard of the Briscoes. You have to watch this ladder match, brother. Man, when I first seen this match, it was insane, absolutely
Mhm.
insane. I remember how he just falls off there, Steen. How insane that was! Like these
Yup.
dudes. Yeah, he dropped them on his big pumpkin, right? That's when he dropped them on his big old pumpkin. It's sad that they never got that fair shake. We keep bringing it up, but it really is. It's like
Yep.
it's the in-ring work wasn't
Boop.
lacking.
There it is.
Dropped them on his pumpkin. The in-ring work
Boop.
wasn't lacking. It's not like these guys didn't know what they were doing in the
Here
ring.
comes the J Driller.
Yeah, Jay Driller right here. You're gonna drop him on his pumpkin. Here he goes. Bye-bye, Kevin Owens. Bam.
Yo,
Say
by the way,
goodnight.
how fresh is that gear? Boots the match.
Yeah, matching brown boots with the fatigue shorts. Look how crazy the place went for him. How long had he been in Ring of Honor at that time? At least 11 some odd years, right?
Ooh, since its inception in 02.
Okay, so 11 years, and he's been a tag team guy. I think Mark was hurt, so they made him do a singles run, right?
Yep.
Ain't that Carrie Silken right here? Wasn't that?
Yep.
Right. I heard stories. Carrie Silken was on Busted Open this morning. He said Jay always called him Boss Man. Hey, what you think of that, Boss Man? Every time he talked to Carrie Silken, he called him Boss Man, even when he didn't even own the company anymore. He was calling him Boss Man.
That's fun.
But yeah, it's sad. It sucks that we have to do this to talk about how great of a person Jay Briscoe was, because in his tragic passing, is that who's that?
I have no idea. I'm like
Who's
trying
that
to.
guy in the cowboy hat?
I
I
have
have
no
no idea.
idea, man.
And you know what's crazy? Remember
He
that
got to be. He got to be family of this. I get. He
must
look like he
be.
related.
Yeah, he's definitely a pew. He's definitely a pew. There go Daddy Briscoe.
This Daddy
Look at him
Briscoe.
happy. Oh my God, that's awesome. He's in there getting to see his boys. See, that's awesome, man. That's
I was.
like,
Yeah, he got to be family of theirs.
yeah, he must be maybe like an uncle or cousin or something that came to the show. That's Super Card of Honor 7. So that's their mania. That's what Hammerstein Ballroom they were at, right?
Here it is.
There
Yeah.
goes the main event, Mark
Oh
versus Jay.
man.
Like, oh man, for the title, right?
The build up. The build up to this match was great.
Oh man. I
Did you
couldn't
see the?
imagine.
Did you see the
I
last
don't
one they
think
did?
I don't think I've ever seen this match. Now
Oh
that we're
really?
talking
Okay.
about it.
Have you ever? Did you see the last one they had where they had the chicken fight in their farm? They had the fight on the chicken
They
farm.
did like a cinematic version or something.
Yeah.
I have not. See, now
They
I gotta
went
go back and
in.
watch
They
some
went.
Briscoe,
This was
man.
this was the one that did in the pandemic. They beat the hell out of each other.
Okay. Yeah,
Like
I
two
bet.
brothers. They just fought.
But
And
you know what?
the dad was in on the build. It was great.
Oh man, I love it. So I know without even watching this,
redneck kung
I
fu.
know
Haas.
that this match is good because it's two people that know each other so well. So like I'm not trying to toot my own horn or nothing, but me and Shay had a match and it was easy to call because you know your quote unquote opponent in this match. You guys know each other so well, you know what you want to do, and you guys can figure it out quickly when you're calling this match. I'm sure this match they had no problem figuring it out what they could do to put on an entertaining card. So I'm sure this match was amazing, but I have never seen this one. I don't think
Oh, it's another one you gotta check out. J and Mark kill each other.
of course. Oh my God, that was on the chin. Golly, that was a lariat. So yeah, let's go to the let me take this off for now. I'm gonna pause it so we don't lose our spot here. But I do want to go. Hey, I'm just showing off the Jay's making me work here. So Jay Briscoe is making me learn different things about using this website and how I can make things work more smoothly. So
Sure.
I appreciate Jay for that. So I got the See You Boys promo for Gorillas of Destiny. That's one you told me to play as well. I love how
Yep.
it starts so far. This looks like a mixed breed dog. Like this is a pit bull and like a Shar poodle at the same time. I've never seen this breed of bully look like this before. I'm looking at this thing like, what's going on? All right, let's pop it up. So I can show everybody what we're talking about. Here we go. Boom. You know the setting. Setting don't change. We always know they're in Sandy Fork, but they remind us
On their farm.
I'm telling you, before we start this one, I'm telling you, Vern, give me 4 vignettes of the Briscoes on WWE television, AEW television. These guys, when they show up for the first time, will have the people interested.
What could have been?
This is why I fail to understand what the WWE didn't see in them when they were down in the tryouts.
But look at the year 2015, 2014.
Yeah.
Let's look at
Yeah.
the roster. Who's
Yeah.
there 2015? You just said they called up Seth, all these guys who were a bunch of so you called up all these guys who were aesthetically pleasing, if you will.
Yeah.
Clean cut, built like traditional wrestler powerhouses, and you got these 2 rough and tough, smash mouth, will get in there, beat the piss out of you, do it all tag team that I think we say it last time, they were born in the wrong era. They were born too late. They were born too late.
You know what's funny? Can I tell you something?
Them and Brock, they were born in the wrong era.
Can you look at what I just sent you in the private chat and read it out loud? Look at the private chat, and this is how I know we are boys.
Wow.
I was literally I typed that at the bottom to remind myself to ask you after I played this promo.
Yeah.
And then you just said it, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna talk about it now.
Yeah.
I agree. I believe they were born in the wrong era.
Wrong era.
Wrong era. 90s, I think they would have gotten over.
Oh,
I think
man.
90s, they would have been the Godwins. I think in
I
the
was gonna
90s,
say,
they
you
would have been
think
the
they would have
Godwins.
had the Godwin spot? You think they'd have had the headbanger spot?
I think oh my God, I didn't even think of Attitude Era. They would have been perfect for the Attitude Era because Vince Russo would have seen these 2 kids and chewed them up and try to put out all these awkward
At
stories
some
to try
point
and
we
get
would have
over.
had an incest angle, so I don't know if that's 100% true.
True.
At some point,
because Vince Russo would have screwed it up somehow.
some point,
But hold on,
they would have been trying to get the same girl or something stupid.
Vince Russo with the Vince filter, the McMahon filter, is the different. I think you would have gotten that angle if they went to WCW in '99. For sure, we would have gotten that. There would have been some weird. They would have had some sister out of nowhere. It would have been Jay, Mark, and like Sandy Briscoe. It would have been Sandy Briscoe, and it would have just been some weird stuff. I totally agree because Vince Russo is weird like that. But anyway, let's watch this promo. This one is Gorillas of Destiny. See you boys at Osaka Joe. Okay, ready for this one?
Let's do it.
Let's hit it.
Now here in a few days, me and my brother, we're gonna leave this old dusty chicken farm. We're gonna go hop on an airplane. And we're gonna fly that sumbitch all the way to Osaka, Japan. And then Sunday night, we're gonna walk into the Osaka Joe Hall, Osaka Joe, and we're gonna challenge for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. IWGP. Let me explain this for you, for those of you who may not know. We're talking Keiichi Muto, alias the Great Muta, and Masatono Kojima, and Tenzan. The list goes on and on. The Steiner boys. This is what they like to call prestigious, baby. Prestigious. Man, if you'd have told us 16 years ago when we was getting started, I mean, shoot, I remember we used to go to the ECW arena. We was 12, 13 years old. Buy them tapes. And we used to get Japanese tapes. VHS. And we would watch them mugs all night long. The VCR. I mean, this is what we grew up on, man. This is big. If you'd have told us 16 years ago, we'd be here. But now flash forward to right now. Flash forward 16 years ahead. Present day. Now, this is just my opinion. Don't get me wrong. This is my opinion. But we're not talking about selling T-shirts or playing a trombone. Right. Excuse me. We talking about between the ropes, inside the square circle. Square circle, baby. We talking about championship tag team wrestling. Tag team action. We talking about running the break or breaking you down in the half court. How you want it? We talking about 4 quarters all night long, rocking and rolling. Huh. Now, again, it's just my opinion. But if you ask me, there ain't a tag team in the world that won it with them boys. Tamatanga, Tangaloa, the Gorillas of Destiny, the Sons of Haku, the Bullet Club,
Hey, y'all the champs right now. IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champs right now. Hey, that's cool, man. If y'all had told us 16 years ago, we'd have had the opportunity to do this. I'd have told you damn right we will. We gonna win them some bitches too. Y'all the champs right now, boys. But we'll see you at Osaka Joe.
Oh man, listen. So there's one thing I want to point out. I feel like I don't know if we did, but I feel like we just watched 3 promos of the Briscoes in chronological order.
I was just about to say to you, I was like, yo, can we just watch this as a cinematic TV show? Because it feels like every time we come in, it's like bam, bam, bam. I just don't get a theme song to give the intro, but like it's like this week in the Briscoes' life. Yo,
yes.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm like, oh, so I can see. I know we've been talking about Jay because it's a tragedy, but we're talking about
Mark
the Briscoes.
was killing it right there.
Mark
was doing
from what we
thing.
saw. Mark went from a guy standing in the back. Remember that one promo we watched before we went on the air,
where we
There's
shot
a guy standing in the back like this, looking around, just listening to Jay talk, to a guy who's like, man, if I'm not going to talk, I'm gonna do something in the back. To now being so comfortable, he's now piggybacking off of his own brother.
Yep.
So this is what I'm talking about. Like, that's the Briscoes I know right there. Those Briscoes that we're just talking, we'll see you at Osaka Joe. Those guys can put butts in seats. Okay, I don't care cosmetically pleasing. Those guys were in shape. They looked believable. They spoke truth.
Yo, just right there, the two of them. I was like, damn, Jay was
looking cut in that shirt.
Yo,
and
Jay
he said,
was looking.
If you told me
he was looking like
ago,
he did 6 months ripped right
yes,
there, right? He was looking
yes.
like I was like he was looking kind of like, all right, Jay, like you've been hitting them.
Hey, you've been in the yard. You've been
hitting them bedpost dips. Was really good with them bedpost dips, bro. Yo,
yes, sir. And I'm like, man, they look great. Mark, now that he grew out the beard, Jay had the bald head at that time. That was when my wife fell in love with him. At that point, when she saw Jay bald head with the eyes and the beard, she said, "Oh, that's my man." I was like, "Okay, here you go." But dude, it's a tragedy to even think that we even have to talk about this right now.
Yo, but I'm not joking with you. You could legit. I might just. There has to be a Briscoe Brothers promos playlist. Is there not a playlist?
I hope. I don't know, but somebody
serious.
needs to put together a supercut because I would watch that.
If not, I just want to should we just like one a week? Just watch a pro? Because geez, those things with that right there that we just watched. I was in. I was like, look, I don't even care what it's about. I'm in though.
Yeah,
I just want more. I want to know more about this.
Exactly. So that's why I know with the right writing and letting them just be free, on television, they could have done a great job.
Yeah,
I know they could have. This is on Final Battle we're looking at now.
Let me ask you a question though. So you just said writing. Could you write for the Briscoes?
I think so, but you don't sit there and go, "This is what I want you to say." Okay? This is the exact wording I want you to say. I think you give them a premise, you give them an idea, and you say, "Hey, Jay, hey, Mark, this is what I need from y'all. Go." And you let them do their thing. You don't change anything that you see there. Let them be on the farm, let them cut their promos, stuff like that. There's no way that doesn't get over, man. I'm sorry. It does. There's no way. And like we said, it might have been the wrong era. It might have been the wrong era. Attitude era, they're over. Early 90s, they're the Godwins. They're not the hog farmers. They wouldn't be called the Briscoes. They'll be called, maybe they're the Godwins, the chicken farmers. Something, you know what I mean? To take from their real life.
Dang, that's crazy. What if they wouldn't have been pig farmers, they'd have been chicken farmers.
Chicken farmers. Right? Like it's there's no way for characters as unique as the Briscoes, there's no way you can't tell me that there wasn't anything for these guys at all. That's the part that's damaging. As entertaining as these guys are, and once the bell rings, usually it's like, oh yeah, this guy's good, then the bell rings, and they're god awful. This guy talk you into a seat, but then you got to watch his match, and it's terrible. The bell rings and it's bad. There go they pops again, right? No, that's they fam. No, that was right there in that corner, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. It's just again, it's a sad sight. We've been talking about Jay for 50 minutes. I figured we was gonna talk this long, and I don't mind it at all. I felt like he deserved it. What happened? You smiling over there?
Man, because I put as you were talking, I was like, I hit a, so I went to the YouTube, the ROH YouTube,
Yep,
just typed in Briscoe under the actual searching of their videos,
sure.
and I just hit scroll, and it's just,
Promo after
man.
promo.
Well, yeah, so there's not a playlist put together, but there's just gems. Like
Maybe
the
we need to
Briscoes
do a
got
bonus
time to
code.
bleed, and it's just I just see a bloody like Jay's. I don't know why. I gotta click it. He's covered in blood. Why is he covered in?
Maybe we need to do a bonus ode and just watch all of them and just watch and react. You good? You saw something? Oh man, that face. Hold on.
Hold on.
Go back here. I'm gonna
Okay,
cut this
wait.
off. I
This
feel
is
like
only a
we're gonna
minute
move
long
on.
promo.
You want it? You gonna send me the
This is
link?
only a minute long. I got you. You know what? I
I have
gotta
to see
submit it.
this.
You have to
All right,
see this.
last one. This will be the last one. We'll
Last
watch
one.
it.
This isn't it, but you don't even have to hear them talk. You just got to see the images they use. I never seen this before.
Oh my gosh.
It was All Night Express. You don't have to play it on the podcast. I just want you to see it real quick.
You just want me to watch it? Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. As it
Just
goes
watch the
along.
opening 30 seconds of that real quick.
Okay, sure. Oh, All Night Express. That's
Yeah.
Kenny
Red
King.
Tide is.
Oh my god.
You ever seen
Oh
that?
my god.
I've never seen that before.
Why does he look like Dare? I'm not gonna play the promo.
I
I'm just
just
gonna
told you.
pop
I
it
just
on
want
the
you to see
screen.
it. I've never seen that before. You're
Don't
an
he
All
look
Night,
like Daredevil?
bruh.
The mask?
But
I've
the
never
shot
seen that.
before where they hit each other so hard you can see
The
the
blood's
blood
flying.
flying
Yeah,
off
I'm
him.
gonna go to that picture.
Look at that. That's
My
insane.
God. Wow. Sure, yeah, I won't play the promo since, but I mean,
Yeah.
this dude's a bloody mess. I don't even look like it's his blood. It looks like somebody just like he took a blood bath from the brood. That's
Uh,
what it looks like right now for the audio listeners who's listening in. But yeah, man, it's like just to cap it off. I'll let you start off the putting the bow on this topic so we can move on.
well, I'll say this. Rest in peace to him.
Mhm.
To those who may watch this and think, man, wow, how could you guys say this? Didn't you know? Look, there's redemption. If nothing else in this world, if we don't live in a world where you're allowed to change your mind, where you can say something dumb and later on say, you know what? I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
If we truly are meant to live and die by the things we said, we tweeted out one day or we said
Yeah.
10, 20, 30 years ago, then wow,
Yeah.
you know.
But
Um
sorry to cut you off again.
no, go ahead.
That's today's society.
Yeah,
That's the this you society
sure. Yeah.
because everybody wants to have a receipt to
Yeah,
cash in on you later if you said
absolutely.
one bad thing. We've all said terrible things in our life
Mhm.
that we might
Oh.
regret as we mature.
Oh, I thank God Twitter did not exist when we were younger. No,
Exactly.
100%.
When we were in
Oh,
high school, if we had social media in high school, forget it. But yeah, go ahead. Go ahead with what you were saying. I
no,
don't want to go on a crazy tangent.
all that to just say, man, I do hope if you're somebody who randomly just happens to hear this, you'll give the Briscoes a chance and want to allow the because again, there I have seen some backlash online of a vocal minority. Though it's a minority, a very vocal minority about celebrating this horrible human being who said these terrible things, etc. And
Oh, see, that's
hey,
already making me angry.
I
I can't.
know, but I'm just saying. And that's why you said, "Rap, put a bow on this." And I want to put a bow on this.
Yeah,
Is that
sure, sure. Do you
that
think
yo? Don't
that's
let that
annoying?
don't let that detract you. All right, like this is someone who passed away in a tragic accident. Somebody who said something, and again
You don't see it
later
from a
on
hole
went
in the
on
wall.
to apologize and make amends for that. Right, way
Right.
on. And the fact that that wasn't enough for most of the populace, if you right, the IWC, and
Mhm.
most have wanted
Sure,
more. And it's
sure.
just like, look, the guy apologized from it. Move on. If you can't move on from it, that's fine.
That's your
But
fault. That's
but the
your own
fact
fault.
that we never got a chance to see him on television, that ultimately will always be what burns me, is because we didn't get a chance to see the Briscoes on television because that dumb tweet, and it's a crime because just us sitting here as 2 fans, just chit-chatting about them, watching their promos are both like, "Man, we're getting excited watching them because 'cause they're funny, they're entertaining."
Yes.
Like, yo, their promos are 8 minutes long, and I'm in, just hit play. They'll
Sure.
talk me into the seat. They'll talk
Yeah.
me in.
Sure thing.
But yes, it's not wrapped in a package you'd expect. Mark is
Right.
missing teeth.
Yep.
Jay looks like he would kill you with the
Jay
shit.
is a man you don't want to meet in an alley.
And
Jay's not
yet,
me. Yeah.
two family men who
Yep.
every show they went to, they literally went with a bus with their peoples in it. They never went by themselves. Them
What
dudes
more can
love
you
pro
ask?
wrestling. They love their families, and
Listen to how Mark was talking about all those legends who won the IWGP tag team titles.
yeah. And as they said it,
They're
man.
knowledgeable wrestling fans who loved our
Yep.
business.
And they deserved, if there's two workers that deserve that, they deserve to have been millionaires. They're two of the guys who,
Yeah.
like we just compared them. They're two of the guys who are legends of Rucker Park, who never got a chance to step foot on an NBA court. And
NBA
you
floor.
think, and you'll always think like, man, the big what if the world would have had a chance to have seen that person, just an ounce of their talent, right? Like
Yep.
it's like the Len Bias, right? Like if the world would have had to see Len
If
Bias
yep.
just do his thing, for the
Yeah.
handful of folk who paid attention, you think, man, what could have been? What could have
Yeah.
been? Just that one. So all in all, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. We're
Yes.
too young. If anything, I really do hope that go out, y'all, support, buy a shirt, support
Sure.
where you can.
Yeah, I'm sure they got shirts on Pro Wrestling
Correct.
Tees or something.
And
If
most
that's
of
the
all, man,
case.
right? I think like the biggest lesson in all is like, yo, don't let don't let your silly personal whatever get in the way of your fanhood, or don't let your fanhood get in the way of your common sense, is probably the biggest takeaway from this, right? Like
Yeah.
your common sense would have told you these guys are money, put them on television.
Hey man, I'm about to buy me one. I don't really rock with Pro Wrestling Tees, but I'm about to get me a Sandy Fork shirt. Let me show you.
show me Sandy Fork. Them
Get
boys, let's
them
go.
boys fitted. Get yourself a Sandy Fork, Delaware shirt, brother. I
Stop
might have to
it.
get one. I might have to get one,
Word. Yo,
brother.
they better do a RIP
If
t-shirt for
they
the
do
homie.
something like a proceeds go towards
Yeah. See that,
because
like that hands down is dope.
where you see that? Oh yeah, yeah,
That's dope. The redneck
yeah.
kung fu, that's dope.
Top 5 dead or alive, hands down, them boys. I might
See, I
listen.
might have to cop
I
that.
might
Now you
have to
showing
get
me
one.
that? All
Yep.
right.
Yep. I might have to bookmark
All
this.
right, look, here we go. See, y'all gonna get me on camera saying I don't really shop pro wrestling tees, but I'll buy a
Me
gift card and
neither.
buy it through them.
Facts, because I to support the Briscoes, because I know, yes, because it says right here, Briscoe CWA as their
Hmm.
Twitter handle, because a piece of that goes to the worker. So
Hmm.
I don't know when they get the check cut for that, but I know that I paid some money, and not all of it just went to Pro Wrestling Tees, that they also got a cut as well. And
Yeah.
hopefully that gets put towards them. That'd be my way of supporting them. I know
Surely, and
I
as
don't
I
know if
said,
you've
man.
heard, there's
But
been some things about people putting out fake GoFundMe's on this because of it. It's
stop
awful. It's
it.
people are nasty. People in the world are nasty. Putting out fake GoFundMe's.
I don't want to
Y'all
hear
wrong
about
for
it.
that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about
So,
that. That's
like
fine.
you said, R.I.P. to Jamin Pugh, Jay Briscoe. It was Mark's birthday yesterday. It's now January 19th. Probably
Yeah.
the worst. Probably is going to be his worst birthday ever. He's never going to forget it because of what happened. But again, happy birthday, Mark. Rest in peace, Jay.
Prayers for the
Uh,
kids. The
yep.
kids, they recover, successful surgeries, and
I hope everything
I hope we can
goes well for
update
them.
the story with happy news at if
Yes.
anything, right?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. I mean, I'm happy with that. Talking an
Yeah.
hour about them.
Cool, cool,
I
cool.
think we can breeze by this next topic because
Yes, we can because
as much as they
oh,
make it seem like it is
oh,
large
what?
news,
It's
nothing
not?
has happened. Nothing
What
has
do you
happened.
mean? All right, and if you don't know, y'all, if you're living under a rock, I'm here to break the news to you. Vince McMahon, the owner of the majority stockholder who
Yep.
owns 81% of the voting power, is back as the executive of WWE.
Yes, he is. I have the article from January 5th when all of this went down. It was literally Wrestle Kingdom. Vince is back. I was like, wait a minute. I
Yeah,
mean,
and again, Vince is back, and as we must stress out, and I think the thing that right, like, because so a little backstory side note, as this was all happening,
mm-hmm.
the world, not the world, excuse me, the internet wrestling community was losing their collective mind,
This is it. Triple H is getting fired.
and
Vince is back.
you and I kept going back and forth saying, what is happening? And the gist of the story is the WWE's for sale. Vince came back. So this is how the chain of events as told by the wrestling community. This isn't
What
saying this is real, but as told by the wrestling community.
can I pause you for a second?
Please.
I think the problem was Wall Street Journal put out an article and put in their sentence the WWE's up for sale. And people took that and ran with it. But go ahead, continue.
Yes. And so the IWC heard Vince is back in the executive role. And for whatever reason, a business decision, of course, that has to affect booking because my favorite star not being booked on a Friday has to do with the business of WWE.
Yeah.
But that immediately sent the entire wrestling world spiraling out of control.
Whole thing went upside down for a whole week.
Allegedly, this is why last week's NXT was a little wonky because the talent that day were all weary and worried about Vince coming back. That was the report coming out on a bunch of different websites.
Wasn't that the taped week? They taped.
That's what I said. But that NXT, thank you.
Yeah, they knew that was going to happen on the 28th when they filmed the second. What are we doing?
Again, this is the collective wrestling mind. And the scary part is what we've come to realize is literally when it comes to wrestling news, it's all unchecked. It is all allegedly, it is all conjecture, it's all just rumor. Just rumor. Like,
Yes.
so the whole WWE sale thing, as you just said, it came from a real news source in the sense that they wrote one line and everyone lost their collective minds off of a single line in an article.
So okay, now I just wanted to fact check. I wanted to see if that was the taped one. That thing with Vince happened January 5th. Okay. New Year's Evil was January 10th. So that was the live show. That makes January 3rd the taped show. But fans had the nerve to say that show was wonky, but because it was 2 days early. Oh my God. All right, can I read the statement?
Go ahead. Do you think?
I really just want to hit quick points on this and
Please.
make a point.
I don't want to talk
what,
too long with this whole
I
thing.
do not. I don't want
because
to.
You and I off air, you and I are both
enough.
like, we're so done with hearing
Yes.
about Vince and the fake sale and until it's sold at this point, I don't want to discuss it.
I want to hear about it. I want to hear about it.
Sold it.
Okay.
Because the IWC has done their job to run this article into the ground.
IWC and the dirt sheets. The dirt sheets running with this idea of a sale. It just nonsense. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to read exactly what Vince McMahon put out in a statement. Okay. And then I'm going to ask you a question.
Please.
All right, here we go. WWE, this is straight from Vince McMahon, and I quote, WWE is entering a critical juncture in its history with the upcoming media rights negotiations coinciding with increased industry-wide demand for quality content and live events, and with more companies seeking to own the intellectual property on their platforms, said McMahon. The only way for WWE to fully capitalize on this opportunity is for me to return as executive chairman and support the management team in the negotiations for our media rights and to combine that with a review of strategic alternatives. My return will allow WWE as well as any transaction counterparties to engage in these processes, knowing they will have the support of the controlling shareholder. End quote. Vern, where did you hear the words WWE is for sale?
Oh, I didn't hear you say explicitly, but my wrestling fan brain heard you say it 1,000. You just kept repeating those words. You just kept saying it again and again.
Oh, this is what this. If your wrestling brain heard this quote, WWE is for sale. WWE is for sale.
That's it.
I'm Vince McMahon.
You basically
I'm
said
back.
Vince is
WWE
back.
for sale.
Vince is back. He's going
WWE
to ruin wrestling again. He's come back to ruin my wrestling. Get ready to hate him more. That's all you said. Wait,
Okay.
You didn't say that?
Let me take some key points into this statement he said. Okay, upcoming media rights negotiations coinciding with increased industry-wide demand for quality content and live events, and with more companies seeking to own the intellectual property on their platforms. Is that where people thought he said the WWE's for sale because he used the words intellectual property? Okay, you know this show we're doing right now? This is our intellectual property.
Correct.
Okay, that doesn't mean we're selling the pay window. If somebody wanted to buy the pay window, they need to buy our intellectual property, which is me and you doing this show every other week to recap about wrestling. That is our intellectual property. It doesn't mean the entire pay window podcast is for sale and we're going to leave and let two other local yokels do what they want on our show. No, it means if we wanted to somebody to buy our rights and put us on, I don't know, Revolt, Vice Sports, give me a podcast company that's big. What's that one that Jericho's on? I'm trying to remember the name
Blue
of it.
Wire?
Oh no, I don't know that one.
Oh, okay.
The one that Stone Cold was on, I'm trying to remember the name of. I can't remember him now, but any of those podcast networks, you get what I'm trying to say, man.
Yes.
Any one of those podcast networks go, we want you to be on our Spotify hits us up and says, hey, we want to give you front page. You're already doing their thing. They'll buy our intellectual property. The intellectual property Vince McMahon is trying to sell is Raw and SmackDown, where it's going to be aired. USA, Universal, NBC has Raw. Fox has SmackDown. You're about to read some numbers that I saw in the deal. Fox has been not making the money they thought they were. So more than likely the deal might get dropped. Fox might be like, "You know what? We can't do it no more." So Vince coming back gives them the leverage. WWE the leverage. Vince has negotiated these deals before. He's going to try to get the best deal for his TV. To me, the WWE is not for sale. It's not for sale. If a sale happens, okay, I'm wrong. I will be the first to come on here. I will come front page just like this and say, my bad, y'all were right. I was wrong. If that happens, mark it down. 107 at 1243 at 19 on 119. The
No.
WWE ain't for sale, bro. But go ahead, go on. Go on with what you was gonna say.
So no, so and a few things to note. When Vince came back,
Yep.
the stock rose $10.
Stock took a hit now. I saw something
Yeah,
crazy.
but every
But
time
when he
Vince has
came
come
back,
back, every
yeah.
time something with Vince happens, the stock goes up.
Yeah, didn't the stock go up during the allegations?
Wrestling internet community, understand your fandom doesn't equal business. The business and your feelings on the fandom. Is
Doesn't
Vince a
matter.
creep? Sure. But does him being a creep mean anything to people who invested large amounts of money in them? No.
No.
They just want more money.
Yep.
Anyway, going back to facts and numbers and why this whole thing is happening. So Morgan Stanley, as reported by the WON, the Wrestling Observe
I'm
newsletter.
gonna read along with you because I didn't hear these numbers or anything like that.
Yeah, so let me give these numbers to you. So Morgan Stanley did an analysis for Fox on SmackDown and felt that they couldn't justify the price tag for the show. In 2020 and 2021 television season, Fox paid, check this out, $196.7 million on the show,
Oof.
right?
Yeah.
And ended up with $134 million in losses.
Oh, so their gross revenue was $62 million. That's like, wow.
In 2021, 2022, Fox paid $208.5 million and ended up with $145 million in losses.
Hold on now. I'm doing math while you go. Go ahead.
All right. So 2020 to 2021, they paid 196, ended up with 134 million in losses.
Yep.
In 2021 to 2022, they paid 205.5.
208.5.
Excuse me, 208.5 and came up with 145 in losses.
That's $405 million that they paid.
Current projection is 155 million in losses for 2023 and 166 million in losses for 2024. Losses.
That's just losses.
Losses.
Because Fox has to produce. That means their ad revenue is they're not getting the advertisement. Wow.
That's the other thing too that I don't know if that's in here, that they get yes. They conclude that there are not enough wrestling fans to justify the money they spend on SmackDown, and it's unlikely that the number will go up in the next 2 years. So basically, they're taking a bath on keeping streaming this channel. on streaming the show,
To
and they
keep putting the show
recommend
on Fox. Yeah.
they recommend that WWE take less money in their next deal to continue to receive the high exposure from the broadcast television rather than taking SmackDown to streaming or going back to cable.
Oh. So, okay. I want to react to what you just said because
Please.
you've read this before. I'm sure you already have your idea. So, what I'm reading is I'm Fox, you're WWE, you're Vince McMahon. Okay,
Yep.
Fox. Okay, Mr. McMahon, thank you for doing business in 2019. I'm sure we made this deal. We'll start this in 2020,
Buku bucks,
2021.
huge deal. Yep. And we're
2020
halfway through the deal. So typically, when you go to renegotiate.
when you go to renegotiate, correct. So, okay, Vince. So the first year was kind of a wash. We had the pandemic. We had to do Thunderdome. There's nothing we really could do there. But the next year, Vince, I lost more money. I lost $11 million to make it 145. So I've now lost $279 million, and I've invested 405 in you, Mr. McMahon.
And remember, WWE side note, they've recorded record gains. Over $1 billion gained in the last they've gained
Good job, Vince. Hey, listen. So remember, I just want to bring something back. Remember, there was a time where Vince had to go and pay people to get his stuff on TV. Then it got to the point where people wanted to pay Vince to be on their TV. So Vince has been in this and that's been like since the mid 90s. Vince has been since the steroid cases, Attitude Era, when everything started to uptick. Since then, business has been booming for Vincent Kennedy McMahon. So he's been in these negotiations. Raw went from USA to TNN back to USA. So he's done this before. How many different channels SmackDown has been on? Sci-Fi, UPN. It was on USA for a bit, if I'm not mistaken, when they had SmackDown Live. Am I not correct? They were on. I'm giving the finger on the third one. I had to put the finger away. I'm trying to think of all the other channels. I think they was on. They might have been on TNN as well. I think it's a quick Google search. I can see.
Oh, also you said ad revenue. Apparently, they get the lowest possible share is on is on SmackDown. Whatever they get, like the lowest possible return on ad share is on during SmackDown.
Okay, so here we go. SmackDown has been on Fox, USA, Sci-Fi. It's been on Fox Sports when Fox cannot air it.
Yeah, when they can't air it.
The CW, I forgot about that one. The CW, My Network TV, UPN.
They debuted on UPN.
Yes, my man, and that was that was broadcast television. The United Paramount Network.
Yo,
that was
random thought. You remember when Stevie Richards came out dressed as one of the acolytes with the UPN logo on his chest instead of the acolyte symbols on his chest?
You're gonna make me look.
Stevie Richards had the. Do you remember this? I don't know why. You said UPN. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Is Stevie Richards with the UPN logo on his chest.
Of course, I can't find a picture of it. Of course, I can't.
Unless I just made that whole thing up, and then someone
sounds
screaming at the thing like, "You're messing it up, you liar! You know what you're talking about."
He wasn't an acolyte. He was actually
Vern. I'm pretty sure that's it, though.
No, bro, there it is. I found it.
Okay, did you? Okay,
I found it. It's right here.
There it is.
Unforgiven 1999. That's fantastic.
Why is that what came to my mind? When you said UPN, I was like, "Oh, Stevie Richards, UPN."
That's great. Oh my God. Okay, so before we go on a crazy tangent, I just want to say Vince has, I brought that up to say Vince has been in this position before, negotiating his TV for networks. So, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, I understand you're coming back. We lost a lot of money. Hey, Vince, we got to renegotiate this deal.
That's why I'm
Fox.
That's why I'm back, pal. I came back, pal, just so you could renegotiate with me, because only person you can negotiate with is me.
That's right. I'm Fox, buddy. Listen, people come to watch me, okay? NFL football, all right? College football during the season, okay? I got those two big things. They make me big money, okay? I got big advertising. Snickers is on there. What can you do for me there with ads, huh? All right? I'm losing money with you every time, hundreds of millions of dollars every time. So here's what we're going to need you to do. You're going to have to lessen the deal so you can continue to use my exposure, Mr. McMahon, or you're going to have to go elsewhere because you're not going to get our exposure for that same price we negotiated. What say you?
Or the third option that everyone, this is what's got everyone going crazy is, hey, pal, instead of you buying, renting it from me to have it on your network, why don't you just buy the whole thing from me so you can just own it all yourself outright?
But where's that come from?
That's the mental gap that everyone's making. That's
don't
it.
understand.
Clearly, right? You just lost 100 million. So look, why don't you just pay me 6
Just buy it.
billion?
Just buy it now.
Just buy.
It doesn't make any sense, Vern.
What do you mean? It's not how that works.
No, that's not how business works. Why
So
would
you're
why
saying-
would a television company buy a professional wrestling traveling company? Why?
For the content, brother. Hello. Did you not just hear that we're losing 100 million? So I'm going to pay you 6 billion for the company.
Let me ask you a question.
I don't know
Does
what WWE valuation is right now, so I just
No,
came
no,
with
no,
6
no, no,
billion
no,
off
no,
the top
no.
of my head.
Does Fox have a streaming service? Fox Now,
Yeah, their app.
their app. That's not the same.
And that's why again, this is also the rumor is it's got to be Peacock. Universal is the most logical because they already have
NBC.
all the stuff is already there, so it's the most logical.
No, they paid for those rights.
Now instead of paying for it,
Why
rent the cow when you can own it?
They have USA already. They're on USA. You will never see Monday Night Raw on NBC at 8:00 at night. That's not, if that happens, I'd be shocked.
Okay, but then NBC would own it, and then they just sell it to Fox, and they sell it to all they become the owners of it all.
Okay.
That's what listen, in the mind of the IWC fan, Mr. NBC that's gonna buy this, Mr. NBC, that non-existent person who's gonna play the new role of Vince, and he's gonna sell the rights to this to everybody else.
I thought it was gonna go to a Saudi Arabian investor. What happened to that?
Well,
company?
that story
Going
is
to go private.
what do you mean? Or do you mean the story of the Khans buying it?
Oh, that one too. Yeah, the cons are interested.
Oh,
Didn't Tony even acknowledge some nonsense?
Brother,
Like, I'd
Tony-
be interested.
Saint Tony.
Oh.
Shout out to Saint Tony. Blessed
Shout out
be
Tony.
Saint Tony. Blessed be Saint Tony.
Look at I know exactly why you just did that.
Saint Tony.
The people don't know, but we know. Go back in archives.
Saint Tony. Oh man, you threw me off my
I threw
track.
you
What
off.
the heck?
We're talking about buying WWE.
Oh yes, that Saint Tony has gone on record and saying him and his dad would like to keep Vince on. I said the cojones on Tony to say those words out loud, but that him and his dad would be more than happy to, consider a merger between WWE, AEW, and they would consider keeping Vince on board. In what universe is Vince ever going to work for Tony Khan in any capacity whatsoever?
Right. If let's say let's play this game. Let's say WWE actually sold to the Khans. Okay, you think
What
any
amount
those
of money?
Right. That's going to be probably half of Shad Khan's
Entire worth?
net worth.
His worth?
His net worth.
That's what I'm
right?
saying. It's like
That doesn't mean that's your liquid money.
Yeah.
Net worth and liquid cash assets is totally different. Completely different. That just shows how much you're worth. What you have, what you own is a part of your net worth. That doesn't mean you've got this money in your pocket. I got 14 billion bucks. Here's 7. Thank you for coming. Thanks, WWE. It's mine now. That's no, brother. I almost said a different word because that's not how this works.
Nope.
Like, why do people?
Well,
if I had longer hair,
but let's add another layer to
my
the
beard.
story to
Pull my
keep the
beard out.
conversation running, right? Not only does Vince come back, not only is Vince selling. If there was one cherry on the top of this whole conversation is how do I, as a wrestling fan, know that Vince is selling because he's evil and he came back to ruin my wrestling? Because of what he did to his own daughter.
Is this what you're talking about, buddy?
Read it.
I'll put it on here. This is straight from Stephanie McMahon's Twitter. As you can see here on the top right for the audio listener.
What did she tweet?
I love it. It's definitely what her dad said when he came out after the whole allegations, bro. Okay, the tweet has a title of Then, Now, Forever Together. But this is Stephanie McMahon's statement that she put out, pretty much saying that she's resigning as a WWE official. So here we go. Dear WWE Universe. And it's funny because we've pretty much documented everything that has happened as long as our show's been on in 2022, we've documented everything that has gone on with the upper management of WWE. But here we go. About 8 months ago, I took a leave of absence and within a few weeks unexpectedly had the opportunity of a lifetime. I had the privilege to return as the co-CEO and chairwoman of the board of WWE. I cannot put into words how proud I am. How proud I am to have led what I consider to be the greatest company in the world, working alongside a remarkable leadership team and one of the strongest executives I have known in my co-CEO, Nick Khan. Our founder, Vince McMahon, has returned as executive chair and is leading an exciting process regarding strategic alternatives. And with Nick's leadership and Paul Triple H Levesque as chief content officer, I am confident WWE is in the perfect place to continue to provide unparalleled creative content and drive maximum value for its shareholders. WWE is in such a strong position that I have decided to return to my leave and take it one step further with my official resignation. I look forward to cheering on WWE from the other side of the business where I started when I was a little kid as a pure fan. I will always remain dedicated to WWE. I truly love our company, our employees, our superstars, and our fans, and I am grateful to all of our partners. Thank you for everything. Then, now, forever, together, Steph. And scene. Steph out. So
Okay.
yeah, talk about it. You talk about it.
How weird is that line where she says she has to, right? So
You want me to go back?
yes, please.
Hold on, I'll get it up for you. Hold on, pause. Let me get it. Bam, bam, boom. Let me blow it up. Where is it? Which
Right.
paragraph?
So I find that the line that I find so interesting is that closing line of the second paragraph. I'm confident WWE is in the perfect place to continue to provide unparalleled creative content and drive maximum value for shareholders. That phrase, right? Because we both said that's been the thing that's been getting repeated is this whole thing about shareholders, the shareholders, the shareholders. And for whatever reason, that's really been Vince's focus, right? Has been, I'm just trying to make the most money for my shareholders,
That's right. That's right.
right? So did you hear today or yesterday that he abandoned all the changes he made to the bylaws?
No.
Have you seen
Talk,
this?
talk to me about it, huh?
So in the bylaws, so before he came back, Vince basically changed the bylaws to the company that stated there could be no negotiations of any kind whatsoever unless
Without
the
his okay, right?
without
Is that
his
yes.
explicit.
Yes. Okay, I do know what you're talking about.
Okay,
Yes, yes,
and
yes, yes,
then
yes.
as of yesterday, the day before, he abandoned all those changes and said, "Ah, no, forget it. None of that's in no more." Because he included a line that said the stockholders all had to be in agreement and they all had to be included in the decision-making process.
Mm.
And now it's back to no, just him. There's no more need for anybody else. It's just
He's the
him again.
majority man. He's got 51% of the company. When you have that 1%,
Oh, no, no, no,
nobody can tell you any
no, no, no,
different.
no, 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 no. You're wrong. He has 81% of the voting power.
Of the voting power, he has
He owns
81.
31% of like it's like something weird. Like he owns 31% of the company, yet because it's Plan B stock, that only McMahon's only blood McMahon's can own Plan B. The type B, not Plan B, but type B stock. The
Yeah.
type B stock is worth the voting power. There's 10 of those for every one normal. Like I have stock.
Yeah.
Every one of his is worth 10 has the voting power times 10 of like my one
Over
or something like
yours.
that.
Wow.
And
I
so
forgot. I forgot you're a shareholder. I
and
forgot
so
about that.
right and so the way it's worked is that only McMahon's can own that specific stock, right? Like only
So
they can own,
so it stays in the family,
and if they
but they're
die,
trying to sell the company
and if they die, or it has to be inherited by a McMahon,
by McMahon.
A blood McMahon. Not even Triple H can own it. And if that's the case that none of them are alive, it becomes liquidated. Like, but you can't. It's insane. You can't
But
own it.
they're
I was like,
trying to sell the company.
I'm telling you, when I didn't, because I didn't know about that Type B. I'm like the Type B. But apparently it's typical business, and because I'm ignorant to business world, and I didn't know this. That's just typical business jargon. And
Yeah.
so, end of the day, we came to find out Vince is doing what any good businessman is this is mine. You're not going to take it from me. Y'all
I'm
thought
gonna
that
make
was
a
quick.
final decision because
Y'all
I
thought
still
that
make
was
money
quick.
off of this. I
Exactly.
still make money off
If
this.
anybody's gonna make the bag, it's gonna be me. If someone's gonna cash the bag, it's gonna be me. That's the point
Me.
of the conversation.
Listen, I'm gonna make this deal. I'm gonna try my best to keep it on a major network like Fox.
Yep.
Whoever wants to buy in. Now, with that news that came out, you said Morgan Stanley did an assessment, and that's what came out. It's gonna make them take a hit. I can understand Vince coming back to be like, yo, I'm gonna try and get the maximum amount of dollars for this deal. That's what I interpret from all of these statements I hear. I don't hear the WWE is selling their company.
Oh,
I
you
hear
said it
the
again.
WWE
Nope,
is.
nope, you said it. You said it. They're selling. They're selling. Confirmation.
Damn it.
You just said it. You just said it.
So I'm the sources.
You're
It's
you're
me.
on record as saying it. So that's it. You're done.
But like, come on, man. Did I get you with that one? I hit you with the shoulders. What can you do?
Yo, that is the meme of you. I didn't know I wanted. You look dead center at camera. You were just like, that was that was like the Family Guy moment jump cut that I needed.
Yeah, facts. But bro, I don't know. I don't want to talk about this forever. We probably been talking
I
about this
know,
for like
but
20 minutes.
but you, how many days did you and I go back and forth about this? It was just like you were like, where?
we
And
were
I kept telling you,
clamoring. We were scrubbing the internet.
and I was like,
Where
I
does
kept
it
telling
say
you,
it?
I was like,
Where?
bro,
Where?
there's no website reporting it that isn't a Wrestle or INC or some sort of like, you're like, okay, this is two guys that own this website and this is their own personal thing.
Somebody misinterpreted what he said about strategic something. I can't remember that terminology
Oh no,
now.
That's Steve Mulhausen, whatever the hell his name is, from Steve
Yeah.
Mulhausen. Oh, I'll say your name.
Yes.
I'll at you, homie. Steve, whatever your name is, you coward. You said all,
Mulhausen,
yeah.
yeah.
That coward
And
is
he's
the one.
gone. He's gone.
That
Yeah.
coward put out sources indicate it's a done deal. He's the person that started this fire.
Private
And he's the
investment
one,
fund or
yeah,
something.
that
He was
the
the one that's
Saudis
there.
bought it, and he's the one. He was getting quoted. He was getting
Confirmed, right?
quoted.
Wasn't it
Yes,
confirmed? Yeah, he said
sources
that.
confirmed, and he was getting quoted, bro, and had like millions of impressions on his thing.
I can't
And it's all about the
stand it.
click. I'm getting it now. It's all about
It's all
the
about the
click.
clicks. It's all
Like,
about the clicks.
you have been teaching
But
me
Twitter-
this, right? That
Twitter
people
doesn't-
only care about impressions.
Yeah,
No one cares
impressions.
about truth. No one cares about
No.
integrity.
No.
Just you want to be first, and you want to be the one that said it loudest.
Correct. Because that's what matters. That's you want the attention. It's like,
Mhm.
hey, look at me. I'm telling a lie, but over here, pay
That has
attention to
become the
me.
standard of wrestling journalism at this point, because
annoying.
that Steve Mulhouse, whatever that idiot, he's made a claim about Monet. Said Monet
Monday
said
was going to be an AEW.
Monet was
Yep.
guaranteed AEW,
Didn't
and
show
then
up.
said that they were sold. And after that,
Hasn't
the
been on
homies
the internet
disappeared.
since.
Right? And my thing was just this. I don't care that he made it. I don't care that he even said sources. Everybody quoted him. All right, you lied. Just because you delete the tweets, homie, doesn't mean that the internet forgets.
Correct.
So what I don't understand is how come nobody has been like, yo, my man, no
Where you at?
apology, no retraction.
Right, because you were the whistleblower in this case.
Thank
But
you.
you were wrong. You were
But-
completely wrong.
As always, as you and I have constantly railed on about, when it comes to Fed batting, as long as you Fed bad, that is always your protection.
All that
On no
matters.
matter what you do, as long as you Fed bad. Oh, well, people make mistakes. You make mistakes.
All right. Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. From that.
So as far let's bow this. So as of right now, we're just waiting to see what network SmackDown's going to land
anything,
on.
yeah, and if anything
That's
will
all.
happen at the end of the day, if anything will happen, or all this has just been conjecture and nonsense talk.
Right. Do I have the right? Hold on. Oh wow, this is the wrong
Got it.
year. No, I had the wrong year for Hard to Kill, which is what we're gonna go to next.
So
we're here.
folks,
This was a poor segue, but here we are. Impact, Hard to Kill.
Listen, Hard to Kill should be the name of this promotion. Hard to Kill is the name of, like, every time I tell myself I'm done with them, and then it's Hard to Kill because I am back to watching them one more time, because I'm always thinking, what if
That
they're
is a
gonna-
perfect name for Impact. It's a perfect name from TNA pay-per-view, from NWA TNA to Total Nonstop Action to Impact Wrestling to the Owl brand to where we are now. Anthem still owns it, but to where we are now, they are Hard to Kill. Think about it. TNA Impact has been around for over 20 years. Over 20 years, and they're still putting on pay-per-views. And they put on a pay-per-view. There goes that segue, brother. On January 13th, 2023, in Atlanta, Georgia, at Center Stage, We previewed it on the last show, and we said we'd talk about it this show. Vern, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to go through the results, and then we'll talk about what we want to talk about? You want to do that?
If you want to do it real quick, yeah, just get
Bang
the
them out real
results.
quick. I'm
Yeah.
not going to do the pre-show matches, although I will note that an X Division title match was on the pre-show and not on the main card. Found that weird. Trey Miguel defeated Black Taurus. Maybe that's why, but I feel like we've seen that match 27 times already.
27 times.
Yes. All right. So Josh Alexander and Bully Ray kicked off the show. They were match number 1. I was not expecting that, but we'll bring that up in a little bit. Josh Alexander, defeated Bully Ray by submission in a Full Metal Mayhem match for the Impact World Championship. So Bully Ray's call your shot opportunity went by the wayside. The Motor City Machine Guns, the tag team champions, defeated Heath and Rhino, Bullet Club, and the Major Players in a 4-way tag team elimination match. Joe Hendry, the champion, defeated Moose by pinfall. That'll be one I want to talk about for the Impact Digital Media Championship. Masha Slamovich defeated Deonna Purrazzo, Killer Kelly, and Taylor Wilde in a 4-way match to determine the number 1 contender for the Knockouts World Championship. Steve Macklin defeated Rich Swann by pinfall in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Eddie Edwards defeated Jonathan Gresham by pinfall in a singles match. And Mickey James defeated Jordan Grace by pinfall in a title versus career match, aka the last rodeo for the Impact Knockouts World Championship. Vern, where do you want to start? I got a bunch of photos too. This is that pay-per-view cover I still have on there. I just had to put it back up there to make you happy.
Oh God. All right. So overall as a show, it was a fine show. It wasn't a horrible show, but like as always, Impact just even in pictures, right? This match, the Full Metal Mayhem match, what was the one thing that you and I did immediately when we called each other was I began doing the Bully Ray. I called you and I said, give me your wedding ring. And you started laughing because immediately you know what I was talking about.
Yes.
Of idiot Bully. Like, what was that? What do you think in his brain, right? Like, do you think he envisions it's a movie and like it's a big dramatic moment? But that in his right. So if you didn't see the match, I'll paint the picture. Bully Ray has zip tied Josh Alexander. He's prone.
Yeah, I'll show it here. You can see here.
His wife comes to the ring and she's begging for his safety. Bully Ray has been hitting him with a garbage can, not a chair, not a blunt instrument, an aluminum garbage can that is turning into potato chip, like we used to say back in the garbage days.
So let me ask you. Let me say one thing.
Yeah.
Tommy Dreamer was a part of this part of the match.
I didn't even want to bring up that, but that was Tommy Dreamer came out to make this save.
I don't have photos of that.
Contrived, just super hokey. It took forever, like this obvious turn, which is fine.
Nope. Go ahead. Continue. Sorry.
Tommy got speared through a table, and then he did the old "I'm just gonna lay here till the match is over" spot.
Yeah, car crash.
And God,
that was bad. I'm sorry, that was bad wording. I'm gonna duck that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna duck that. Yeah, I'm gonna duck that. I'm not using that. Oh my God, that's awful.
It's sensitive.
But that's in wrestling terms. But I'm ducking that. Yeah, no,
yeah,
I'm gonna
let's
duck
not do
all
that
of that.
one. Yeah, let's not do that.
Sorry on that. I just realized what I said.
Yeah, no, but so either way, it's a mishmash of crap. But you have Bully Ray standing, and then it's just like what 30 seconds where he's pretending he's gonna hit him. His wife is begging, and he's saying, and he says, right? You hear him on camera say, "I'm gonna kill him."
And then does this, puts it up in the air.
But then but before that, right? Is it before that he begs her for the ring? Is that the photo?
Right here. That's
give
right
me
here.
Your wedding ring. He starts yelling at her to
ring.
give me your wedding ring, but he says it like 4 times, where it's just like, okay, now it's getting weird because she's not doing it, but you're repeatedly telling her, "Give me your wedding ring.
Yeah.
Give me your wedding ring." And so finally she doesn't, and then he takes it up and he puts the garbage can. He bends both his elbows, and it's just the longest, just waiting, and then she hits him with a nut shot, and Bully Ray does the great Three Stooges.
That right there. There it is.
And if not for that
Big
great
O
thing,
face. Big
and
O face.
then the thumbtacks. I'm gonna get into all the spots.
So his wife, I think her name is Jade or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, she does
She does the acid drop, and
into
she
the
falls into
thumbtacks.
the thumbtacks. When Bully sends her out to lay her safely, she goes right into the thumbtacks. When
Bro,
she gets up, she has some in her pants.
you just reminded me there was thumbtacks on the first match of the pay-per-view. Thumbtacks got blown out. Oh god damn.
It's Full Metal Mayhem.
Gosh dang
It's
it.
up Bully's wheel well.
Anyway,
Look at him.
God.
Look at him.
So, finish of the match. Can we just talk about the finish? Let's skip all the other crap.
I don't think I took those pictures, but yeah, I don't think
All right.
I took those
Point.
pictures. Go
Here's the
ahead.
finish, y'all. Bully gets put in a garbage can. Josh Alexander goes up. By the way, but on the table. By the way, wait. Yeah, Bully's on the table.
yawns out.
Josh goes up on a ladder, but Josh's wife hanging onto the ladder, the middle supports,
I gotta find that picture.
and
Oh
her
my God.
hanging, her literally kicking her feet and hanging like.
Yeah, I've got to find
Did
that
that
picture.
not-
because Now that you mentioned that, I have to find that picture. 'cause
That was
nuts.
the part that had me like, where I
Like-
thought something dangerous was gonna happen.
I immediately thought the table was
I
gonna break.
thought
I
that
swear
the
to you.
ladder was.
I mean, the
up.
ladder was gonna break because because we've seen as yardies, as people that have used ladders in professional wrestling matches, those things are flim flam. The anchor supports are flim flam. They are not to be held on the
And
way she was holding
right.
on them.
You just have to bend one slightly a funny way. Just
Oh yeah,
slightly little slight
Oh, yeah.
bend, and it will just cave.
gone. Yeah, it'll fold like a kneecap going the other way.
Holy
Absolutely.
heck! And she was
All right,
just
hold on. I'm
hanging
gonna
on
get
this
it in
thing
here.
like she was at a jungle gym. She was just hanging on this thing like right. She was about to do a pull up.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hold on, I gotta find out where it went, and I'm gonna get it because I've got a bunch here that says "hard to kill." It is this one right here. Got it. Bam. And I'm gonna pop it up for the video viewers. You can see here for the audio listeners listening. Bully's on a table. Josh is taken off probably from like the second highest rung,
Yeah.
and his wife has a firm grip. And you can't see my mouse on there. Has a firm grip of the anchor supports. That's what I call them.
Yep.
The supports, like she's about to pull them down. And those things are so flimsy, they have no problem going like this. And for the audio listener, I'm taking my two hands and I'm bending them inwards towards my chest. I don't know how else to say
Where your
it
knuckles will be touching, and
yes, my knuckles will be touching. My
tops of
yeah.
your hands will touch.
There's that does not take much. And I was like, that's gonna break. Josh is gonna fall. Josh got off. Got off, hits the splash. My gripe is that should have been the finish.
I was just about to say. So you just described it. He falls off. 1, 2,
Kick out.
and Bully Ray kicks out for what
Just to
purpose?
get put in an ankle lock that he put on earlier with the chain and a chain in his mouth. But
And
this
that
wasn't-
didn't get him to tap out.
right. So
But
why did
this got him to tap
why did putting Bully through a table make him tap out now when he literally
To an
had
ankle lock.
his chain wrapped around his mouth and his leg together, and that didn't make him tap. But
A
him going through
table
a
bump
table then
Made
Put him
him
through the
tap out for
table.
the leg, the ankle.
yeah, put him through a table, cover him, we're out of there.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
was that was like the match itself. I guess they told a story. They told a story in the match.
The story made sense.
They
It
did
made
some
sense.
things,
Yeah.
but that finish was just. It felt like it was way too dramatic for what it was
Yeah.
needed.
Didn't need
It didn't have
tap
to be
out.
that dramatic.
Why did you have to make Bully tap? I know he's the walking weapon, but he went through hell in a man's pretty much signature match.
Exactly.
It's like working Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell and then slapping on, I don't know, a sleeper hold. I just out of nowhere. Like you worked Undertaker in a buried alive match and you slapped on a sleeper hold in the ring instead of all the way out by the grave. Or a
No.
casket match, and it's like and you put him in a sleeper hold by the ramp instead of in the ring by the casket. It's just like,
Yeah.
why did you have to do that?
Yeah.
What's the ankle lock for? You hit the big splash. You jumped off the top of a ladder, and mind you, you took that bump earlier in the match. You fell off the ladder. Bully tipped the
Into
ladder over
thumbtacks.
into the
Into
thumbtacks
thumbtacks.
very
Unnecessary
early
spot.
in the match. So
Yeah.
now you shaking that off and you hit a splash, but you've got enough energy to slap on an ankle lock and stand there dominant? No, sir. You just exerted all your energy on that top of the ladder splash. You put him through the table, the crowd goes nuts. Cover him, let him count along. 1, 2, 3. That's probably the ultimate crowd participation that a fan can be a part of. Counting to 3 with the referee, and you took it away from him for a tap out. Whatever. Can we move on? Can we move on?
So outside of that match, I really like Moose Joe Hendry.
Moose and Joe
Moose Joe Hendry killed it.
I think they're I think and of course we saw this man come out. We got to mention him.
Got to mention Santino Marella. We looked into this. Santino Marella. We looked into this.
Yep.
WWE apparently back in February of last year, they apparently abandoned the trademark.
Just like with that guy. I'm not gonna say his name. The big guy. That's all I'll say.
That's it.
That's all I'll say. So Santino got to do the gimmick. I enjoyed that. I'm not gonna lie. I saw Moose win, and I was like, oh man,
you know what?
Moose was over.
It fits in Impact.
Yes. And if they use him as an authority figure and just let him be Santino that you saw on WWE, the greatest intercontinental champion of all the times, let him be that guy. Oh my God, it's perfect. It's perfect. So it'll work for them. I hope they use it right. I would like to see the dynamic between him and Joe Hendry because that's comedy. That's some funny stuff right there.
Yeah.
They will be the levity in their TV show we won't ever watch, but
the levity and the nonstop banger fest that is Impact.
Right. So like we said, Joe Hendry retained. I think they ended the match pretty quickly after that.
Yeah.
But Moose and Hendry went to work that night. Moose has improved. I watched Moose in Ring of Honor a long time ago. I said, oh, guy's an old football player, decent shape. He's not bad. He has gotten in better shape. This guy's out here with no knee pads.
Yeah, no. Moose is not who Moose used to be.
Oh,
Moose is something different.
Yeah, I would like to see Moose get an opportunity elsewhere, but Moose and Impact, he's been a staple since before the Owl, no? He's been there for a while now.
I think so.
He was there when EC3 was that guy.
Yeah.
So he's been there for a minute.
He was there, wasn't he there when Zima Zima what's his face was there, no?
Yeah,
Zima
when
he was still wearing the light up helmet and all that nonsense. He was still there. He was there when he was doing that too.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Moose has been there for a while. He's been there for a while. They had a phenomenal match. I like their match. I want to bring up I kind of want to bring up this, but just like why? There was a 4-way title match. Kazarian came out after the end, after the Guns won, and pretty much made an announcement saying he's back in Impact Wrestling. And I think the rumors are he signed a contract with Impact.
He did. And honestly, I feel like that was big news to him and his family. So if his family was wondering where the next paycheck was coming from, congratulations. Y'all are getting guaranteed money.
It was awkward. I feel like there was another way you could have done it. Maybe, I don't know, something different. It's just, this wasn't it. This wasn't
what, dude? He's been on television. I'm sorry. When you've been on national television and you show up on Impact, it's hard to act like, guys, I'm coming back to where the big boys play. It's hard to have that speech when it's like, really?
I don't know. I don't know.
That was my issue with it. Was just that I just felt like he came back and he tried to dub bad himself into good graces with Impact, right? Into a place where guys really know what it's like. And it's like, don't do that. It's not, don't do that.
So I know we're jumping all over the place. Masha Slamovich won in a 4-way. What you think of that 4-way? Let's bring this up real quick, and then I want to jump into Eddie Edwards and then Mickey James.
The crap out of me. I told you what I thought of it was when Taylor Wilde came out and all black as a heel and literally ran down the front of the and slapped hands like she was one of the rockers.
Can I be honest? I don't think I've ever seen Taylor Wilde as a heel, so I think this might have been the first time she's ever been heel in her entire career. Taylor Wilde, I know from Impact and TNA back in the day when she was knockout champions all those times. She was always a babyface. Her biggest opponent, literally, was Awesome Kong. So it was Awesome Kong and Taylor Wilde. So her here as a heel, it was very odd, but she didn't do anything heelish, really. She made a few faces. I think she may have, did some dastardly tactics, but nothing like that made her be like she's a heel. I don't
look. I'll say this: Masha wins. If Masha wins tonight, so that she can dethrone Hogan, fine.
Don't do that. Don't do that yet. Don't do that. Hogan? Who's Hogan? Who's Hogan? What are you talking about?
I'll let you.
What are you talking about? Who's Hogan?
Oh my God.
Sorry. Who's Hogan?
In one of these great moments, where I was like, oh, Frank called it. Frank nailed it. He nailed it.
Right on the head. But
Watching
don't
the main event. Listen, I'm.
let's
We
not
got to
talk
talk.
about the main event yet.
All
Not
right,
yet, not yet, not yet.
I
One more match before the
yeah.
main event. Eddie Edwards, Jonathan Gresham. I just want to say, Eddie Edwards and Jonathan Gresham, I'm not gonna boo-boo on their match. They had a good match. I felt like I was watching Ring of Honor.
If
I felt like I was watching Ring of Honor.
like that, if you like the more modern Ring of Honor of like that more hybrid Ring of Honor
late 2010s,
late 2010 Ring of Honor,
Yep,
this is
yep.
for you.
That match was they went
Hard
to work,
hitting, a lot of
technical
submissions, technical
yeah,
stuff,
yep.
chain wrestling.
Sure.
It's for you.
Absolutely. And then PCO came out. PCO came out and spit sand out of his mouth.
This isn't hyperbole.
I'm not lying.
This isn't like we're just making it up. He
No,
literally
he literally spit sand out of his mouth.
Sand. Like someone filled his mouth with sand and said, "Hey, I need you to spit sand." And he was 20 feet away, not 20 feet, but he's like 10 feet away from Eddie Edwards.
Yeah.
It's
So
like 10, it's like 2 PCOs in between the two of them.
where did he come from? Under the ring? Right? How long did he have that sand in his mouth? Did he just go, he just had a little bag of sand? He just had a little bag of sand.
What if they told him he had to throw the sand and he heard eat the sand, put the sand in your mouth? What if it was supposed to be powder to the face and this dummy said he wanted to have 2 hands
for the shovel? Where is that? It was a shovel, right?
It doesn't even make sense. Look at how if y'all could see the mist spray, this mist is, I'm not even joking with you when I say it's like a half a foot in front of him.
So, okay, so you can see the mist that's coming out of his mouth currently, but you can also see the sand that is completely going, just gravity taking its course and dropping right down in front of him. Whose idea? And what sucks is we saw this develop on television. We saw him get buried by Eddie Edwards and then the hand.
Wait, they're in Atlanta, right? They're in Atlanta,
yes.
What are there prominent beaches in Atlanta that they would have had sand from?
Sure, down by the Gulf Coast, I guess. I don't know. Atlanta's inland. It's mainland. Ain't no beaches, man.
So what beach did he go to get the sand?
Bro,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like I'm trying to
sand.
think of
you know that stuff your kid plays with that just melts?
Like I'm trying to like piece two. Like, okay, so it's supposed to be gravel that he. Are we supposed to believe he's been dead and buried and he had time to change his clothes and redo his face paint to do different face paint?
Listen.
Shout out to Impact, always doing this to us. That when we watch something, you're always left going, wait, wait, what do you think they mean by this?
Yes.
wait, what do you think they really mean by this?
So since PCO has been back, I've never been a fan. The man has turned himself into a stunt man, throwing himself all over the place at the
Joe. When we watched that one video of PCO get hurt.
Try not to cringe, where his shoulder was like, this was his shoulder. His shoulder was like up here. Come on, bro. All right, I'm not talking about PCO and Eddie Edwards anymore. I'm good. I thought we were done. I thought that feud was buried when he buried him in that cinematic match.
No, let's go. Because apparently he's back spitting peat moss at people, and he is ready to dago and get it in. All right, let's go to the main event.
Hold on, we're gonna go to the main event. Oh man, did I mess up? Okay, hold on. I messed up, but I got the time frame. Hold on. I've got something for you that I want you to see.
Okay.
I've got to pluck it now because I had it and then it disappeared again. So I'm going to play something that we did 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And you asked a question. It was during the preview portion of our episode. So this is on episode 23. Mercedes is Monet. So it's going to be weird. You're going to have like a deja vu.
Is Monet.
Monet. Sorry. It's weird. Oh, who are these guys?
Whoa.
Hey, wait a minute. You know what, Vern? I got to start wearing different shirts on Wednesdays. I got to start wearing different. Hey, this was 2 weeks. This was washed. That's okay?
Great.
I got to start wearing different shirts on
Look
Wednesdays.
at how big my beard was. Yikes.
Look at that. Yeah, they get your shave on. Okay. So we're talking about Mickie James versus Jordynne Grace. And I just want you to hear.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Don't do that. That was weird.
That was crazy. You were gone the whole time. Wow.
It just froze out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, you were frozen on me. That was
all right. My audio screwed up. All right, here we go. Right when I hit play, that happened. That was It's because it's like they see too many of us at once. It's got to be screwed up like that. All right, let's go down here so we get a full screen. Here we go. And that's why I'm not trying to put ourselves over.
Facts, but
But
it's just
we
like
we understand the business. We get where things are trying to go, and we put our logical mind to the stories that these people are trying to tell us. So that's why you can watch and observe and be like, okay, it's got to be Mickey versus Jordan. Jordan's the dominant champion.
yeah.
Mickey's on this run. I'm sorry, I love
What if?
Finish.
What if?
Don't say it.
What if?
What, Mickey goes over and she's the champ?
What
Then
if we
every
get
match
Mickey
is hers as a
one
title shot and she
more?
loses?
Who does she put over then? Does she drop it? Does she drop it to Masha, giving Masha finally Masha's big win?
No, she's putting her over. By putting her career on the line, Mickey is putting her over by giving her her very last match, Vern. There's need the belt. Did Mickey need the belt at all? I'm gonna stop it right there.
By the way, I look so frustrated. I'm just rubbing my eyes, and I'm like, you can see me. I'm just like this, because you can see my face when I said, "What if Mickey wins?" And I'm just like, "Oh God, what if Mickey would have win the belt?" And I'm rubbing my
and
face.
here
so
we are. Now I'm
intently.
rubbing my eyes. And
It
here
was
I
like
am
I
doing
could
the same
tell.
thing.
I'm like, right? Because I'm like, what if Mickey wins? And you're like, that's not gonna happen. And I'm like,
no way. There's no way. Because they told you a story as if it's not. And then she freaking does. She wins the title. Damn it, she wins the belt. She goes on to work Jordan Grace in the main event of the evening and wins the freaking championship in front of her family members and son, but not Nick Aldis.
she won
Where's
the
Nick
last
Aldis?
rodeo.
Where's Mac Brutus Magnus?
I don't know, but
She
the
won
last
the last,
rodeo.
and you told me she cut a
Last rodeo
promo.
over. Last rodeo's over. I'm pretty. I told you it was on Twitter. There's a promo she did on Twitter afterwards. She talked about being the last rodeo being over. Have you seen it?
Vern, I have not. I'm angry. I'm upset. I didn't want to watch it. It was gonna piss me off even more, bro. What's me especially since we went on this Impact journey? What storylines praises have I been singing since we started?
Yep.
Mickey freaking
Mickey
James.
James.
What am Mama Mickey. I
Mama
love this
Mickey.
Mama Mickey story. I can't wait where this goes. It's got to go to Jordan Grace, and she's got to put Jordan Grace over because she's the dominant champion. Yeah, good idea, Frank. Good idea. She's now the Impact World Knockouts champion. And now this is why I'm bringing it up. What do you call her now, Vern? Why do you call her what you call her now?
Mickey Hogan, because she apparently Mickey was like, "That's not going to work for me, sister." And look, we buried Masha's year-long run, right, to solidify Jordan Grace, which you were. Remember when we talked about that? And I was like, "Oh, okay, so Masha's going to get the big win, beat Jordan." And it was like, "Oh no, Masha was just used to elevate Jordan into a monster." Okay, fine.
And I said and I said because Mickey is going to work Jordan, and then Jordan will go over and look even more. Oh, I'm about to walk out.
Masha
all right,
was
it's been real, yeah.
to put over Jordan, right? To make Jordan into this giant monster, so that Hogan
This is
could
so
slay the
frustrating.
beast. Hogan slayed the dragon. Ultimately, Hogan slayed the dragon. She's even wearing yellow and red. Oh my God, she's wearing yellow and red. Yo, legit. She pulled. She Hulk Hogan like feed me the young talent, brother. Like
The entire roster.
She beat everybody,
bro. Chelsea
did
Green
not
packed her up. Mia Yim packed her up. Deanna
She
Purrazzo,
beat
see ya. Taylor
everybody.
Wilde, gone. Everybody. She worked all these girls.
Every single girl on the roster, every single girl, every match she did was a quote unquote retirement match, right? So every match she did for the Indies were that. And in the end, it was also Hogan. Mickey must pose.
Hold on, let me.
Mickey must pose. That's it. The show ended with Mickey must pose.
Don't
And
get me
look,
wrong.
there's her Brian Knobs right there. She's got Tara in the ring. There's her Brian Knobs. Her not even her Brian Knobs. Her what's his name? Her Ed Leslie.
Brutus the
Brutus.
barber,
That's her brother Brutai. She had her brother Brutai there with the
brother
promo in the beginning of the.
Bruta.
Did you see the promo at the beginning of the show with brother Brute with Tara, where she was like, I don't know if I could
And
do this.
Raven
Is
just came in. Raven just came in and gave her a hug and then left.
this is
And
this
when
is
I
all I got.
saw that promo,
Okay,
because you know what's funny? What's funny is
watching them
that got
back,
ruined
knowing
for
that
me.
she's gonna win, it seems hella disingenuous. It's almost like she's
Yeah,
mocking the fact that
yeah.
Jordan Grace is undefeated. Jordan Grace has never been beat. What's your finisher, kid? All she
Jordan
needed to
Grace.
do was do the promo. What's your finisher, kid?
What's your finisher, kid? So I can
So
kick out
so I
of
can
it.
kick
So I
out
can
of it.
kick out of it, brother.
It's like-
But I'll give her that. She did not hit the Grace
Correct.
driver. She never hit the Grace driver match wise. She never hit the Grace driver to finish her off. The finish to this match for her to go over, they ruined it. They should have. If Mickey's going over, she hit her DDT and then they made Grace kick out. They work another 5 minutes and she hits a tornado DDT and then that's the finish.
After
Which is
Grace hits the post, though, remember Grace hits the post, she dummies
yeah.
out. Okay, she hits the post, dummies out into a tornado DDT.
And that finished her. If anything, they should have flipped those two. Put the have her hitting the shoulder, tornado DDT, big kick out because it's not her finish. Then she hits her McDT finish. We're here. Mickey must pose, champion. Everybody's happy.
I guess I'm only guessing that the thought was the heel has a gripe because the heel ran into the post. And so that's the heel right back door of issue is that the heel ran into the post. I'm not saying it's good, but
I don't like it. It smells bad.
I
I don't
hear
like
you.
it.
But
I
why
don't
else
like it.
why else would you use a corner, a post? Why else would you have the heel post themselves to the setup for the finish? Of all the I'm just saying for all the things for the finish, why was a post the heel posting them? A spot that in any other match is just a spot. It's just a
It's
thing
just a
people do
transitional
now.
move.
Yeah.
Especially since you just hit your finish a few minutes ago. You want to know why, Vern? Because Mickey must pose. I'm with you, man. Mickey Hogan, Mickey James. I'm disappointed. You let me down. You let me down, Mickey. See his face? I'm depressed. I called you Mama Mickey for like 10 weeks. You made me watch episodically. You just run through. Are you waving the pencil already? Well, I thought you were waving a pencil already. Yeah, we got to take it home on this segment. Is that what you're telling me? Let's take it home on this Impact segment.
Oh no,
We're
I
going
just
to
had
talk
one. I
briefly
just
about Wrestle
researched something.
Kingdom. Yeah, we're going to talk
Go
about
ahead.
Wrestle Kingdom, and then we're going to jump to the preview. But I'm disappointed, seriously, with Mickey. I thought the story, it's not because I'm disappointed because I was wrong. I just feel like there was no other way to tell this story. This girl has had the run of her career. And for it to end this way, and when I say this girl,
Because
for
I'm
the audio
sure
listeners, I popped up
somebody
a picture of Jordan
convinced
Grace.
her. But I'm sure someone convinced her the comeback, brother. Wait till we get to the return. The return's gonna do double the business.
Okay, so let's just see here. Let's since we've been doing this and we watch
Mhm.
Impact from pay-per-view to pay-per-view, Masha Slamovich is not a number one contender, is going to have to work Mickey James. Is this Masha's time? Is Masha gonna go over as Impact champion and then work
This
Jordan Grace
if she
for
comes
Jordan
over
versus
this,
Masha 3?
I'll say this: if she goes over this fast, then I would truly say, man, that undefeated streak was really wasted.
So okay, so Mickey, all right. So Mickey loses the title. Now what?
Nothing. She just keeps wrestling. The last rodeo's over.
There's
Do you
okay.
remember? Do you remember
Tomorrow,
when
today,
Flair did?
they
Do
have to
you
say
remember
it's
when
good.
Flair did this angle?
Oh, the right way? And he lost to
That's what
Shawn
I'm
Michaels?
saying.
The right way. That's what you're saying. He lost to Shawn Michaels in Mania and retired until he needed, till he
Okay,
came back. But
but that's just it. But then Flair didn't retire, and Flair just kept going. Right?
Flair has never worked in a
Yeah,
wrestling
yeah,
match
yeah,
for
yeah.
the WWE since then.
Correct. But what I'm saying is, it's just that idea of like Mama Mickey was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna retire, brother. I'm gonna go
What?
back on top. I'm gonna go back like Hogan. I'm going back on top." This was
Why is that the
WrestleMania
story?
9. This was again WrestleMania 9 levels of confusing.
Caesar's Palace Mania?
This is Hogan and Brett. This is
Hogan
Hogan
Brett?
ended the program with Hogan and Brett, and us all going, "What?"
Hogan coming back and becoming the champion after Brett and Yoko won. That Caesar's Palace had to be one of the worst WrestleManias ever.
It's
WrestleMania.
Hogan running out and just and for whatever reason getting to drop the leg pin 1, 2, 3 and getting declared champion.
Didn't he have a mouse under his eye too?
Yeah, from the jet ski, yeah, from the accident, yeah.
With Brother Brutai, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man. Oh man. Mickey must
Mickey
pose,
must
bro.
pose.
She even has on yellow and red. I'm done. All right, moving on. Let's go Wrestle Kingdom real quick.
Oh, Wrestle Kingdom
We
can
said
be
we were
very
gonna
fast.
cover Wrestle Kingdom. We'll cover Wrestle Kingdom. I'm just gonna go through the results. It's a lot. Apparently there was 2 nights, Vern. The second night is gonna be 2 days from now, January 21st. It's got a lot of Pro Wrestling Noah guys. We're not even gonna cover that because we don't cover Noah like that. There are some New Japan guys there. I see Ishii, Okada's there, Makabe. Is Bushi's a New Japan guy? Yeah. There's a lot of New Japan versus Noah matches, is what I'm seeing there. Naito's there as well, Shingo Takagi. But to be quick, we're going to just quickly cover the results. I only want to talk about pretty much the main events: Omega, Osprey, Okada, Jay White. We'll cover it briefly, and then we'll move on to the previews. We're at the 2 hour mark. I think we're doing good because we should be done within the next 15 to 20. Notice, remember I said that, okay? Catch 20, catch 22. Okay, whatever. TJP and Francisco Akira, they were the champions, defeated Leo. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Again,
Leo
I was
Rush and
like,
Yo.
I don't know why you're gonna attempt to do this.
For the IWGP, I'm going to be very quick. Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion. That name sucks. Kyrie defeated Tom Nakano by pinfall for the IWGP Women's Championship. We covered that in depth last episode with Mercedes as Monet.
Money.
Bishamon, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi defeated FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler for the IWGP Tag Team Championship. We covered that a little bit last month. Why I keep saying that? Last episode as well. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Ren Narita in a tournament final for the first ever New Japan NJPW World Television Championship. Tama Tonga defeated Carl Anderson by pinfall for the Never Openweight Championship. Then we had the Legends match. This was Great Muda's last New Japan match. It was Keiji Muto, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Shota Umino defeated Los Ingobernables de Japón in a 6-man tag team match. Hiromu Takahashi defeated it was a 4-way. Taiji Ishimori, El Desperado, and Master Wato. I hope I said his name right there. In a 4-way match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Kenny Omega defeated Will Ospreay for the singles match for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. Wow, the amount of minutes they went. Holy. And Kazuchika Okada defeated Jay White to gain the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Those last 2 matches, Vern, were 67 minutes of wrestling. 34 minutes out of Omega and Ospreay, 33 minutes out of Okada and Jay White. Which one do you want to tackle first?
Oh,
Real
you
quick.
can tackle this. I promise you that this show, as I watch this show, I can say watching Omega and Will Ospreay. After I was done with that match, I was like, I shut off wrestling.
Whoops.
After I was done with
What's wrong with
Okada and Ospreay, I shut off wrestling and I was like, I'm done with wrestling for the day.
So as
I
you
watched that
say that, it took me 2 days to watch that match.
It took me 2 days to watch that show.
It took me
It
2
took me
days
2
to watch that
days.
match. Yep.
And when I watched the second, and so I watched it till I think they started fighting on the ramp or something, and then I was like, and I got bored, so I turned it off. And then I watched the second half of it, and it was after the table spot and after that whole head through the table spot and all that silliness,
Yeah, like a hole. He put a hole through the table.
he
Yeah,
did
yeah.
picked it up and then put his head through it. He had to do a little face, had to make it a joke. Um,
Mm.
there was nothing left to do. They literally
Yeah.
so the part of the match where they exposed the turnbuckle and the referee never, ever, ever make the referee. So I never noticed it before, but that's the first time I guess in a New Japan match I just watched the referee just
So okay, so I'll give him this because they don't have turnbuckles, so it's not like he could. Some refs try to put the pad back so something behind them can happen.
like when Yano rips it off and then the referee will grab it and because that's like his deal.
Oh, they do that in Japan. Okay, so forget it.
Yeah, remember that's like Yano rips it off and then the referee will fight with him and he'll go and take the other one and it's
I
part
didn't I
like
didn't know that. So
oh
nope,
okay.
nope. So forget what I was gonna say. Forget it.
Okay, no, like, but
I
so
thought
like
that wasn't a thing because
the
they
ref,
use the
because
long pads.
but
I
bro,
thought
the
that wasn't a
referee
thing.
just stands there and goes like, no,
Mm,
no,
Okay. But they let a lot go in this match, so maybe that's why
that,
it might
and I
as well have
guess,
been a hardcore match at that
and
point, or
the
whatever you want to call it.
so my commentary for the whole show was like, oh, New Japan's different now,
New Japan is not your daddy's New Japan. Let's
bro.
be honest. This
The
ain't the New
opening
Japan we used
match,
to get.
the Ren Narita, the tag match, whatever the with Leo Rush, the one where he banged his head against the floor and cut himself open
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
mean
That
check.
the LED boards, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that match was pure that late stage ROH before ROH shut down, like super junior heavyweight, no tags, just ping,
Go,
ping,
go,
ping,
go,
ping,
go,
ping,
go,
ping,
go, go,
ping,
go.
ping,
So
ping, ping,
four
ping, go, go, go,
pinballs.
go, 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 go,
Four
go, go, go,
pinballs
go.
in a wrestling ring.
And that's all that was. And the
Yeah,
referee just watched.
yeah.
And for whatever reason, in a New Japan ring, man, that was jarring to me because I'm always used to seeing the ref, right?
It's a sport. It's
Break,
supposed to be a sport. Yeah,
break.
now it's
And this dude, the referee wouldn't even count. Omega and Osprey were on the ground for like 3 solid minutes, and they
one
never went attempted to even break. He didn't.
two.
The referee got on the floor. He like goes out
Yeah,
to the
for a
floor.
while. Then he rolled back in.
I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell are
I
you
think he rolled
doing?
back in once Osprey was out there by himself on the ground. That's
But
when he then started counting to 20 and then he rolls in or something like
but
that
what
from what I
happened to the
remember.
referee doing the one, and then the crowd and the announcer counting the one over the like? There was just so much of that match, and I was like, is this a no DQ match? What happened? Like, oh, okay. And then like the Irish whip 4 minutes into the match, Irish whip to expose turnbuckle pad.
Oh, we got 29 minutes to go, buddy. Sorry.
Frank,
We're just
you
getting
got
started.
Irish whipped back first into the back turnbuckle pad, right? And then the next move was a big move to the back. That wasn't the finish.
Nope.
And expose. And then when the homie hit the during the match, he suplexed him onto the turnbuckle pad, the exposed turnbuckle pad when Omega almost killed Osprey when he gave him a suplex onto the turnbuckle pad. Wasn't the finish.
Yeah. Didn't Osprey fall to the outside? He fell
Almost
to the
died.
outside, didn't he,
Almost
Osprey?
died. Almost
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
Wasn't the finish. They did like 4
Can I ask you a
moves
question?
to the damn exposed turnbuckle. Wasn't the
Let me ask you a
finish.
question. Let me ask you this one question. How many stars did Dave give it?
6.25.
Moving on. Kazuchika Okada and Jay White. Okada went over on Jay White.
That's such a
Uh
weird picture.
I just wanted to address this picture really.
I did.
Jay White at the end of the match. Their match was good. I liked it. I liked it more than the
So
Okada and
can we
the
say
Omega Osprey match.
there was nothing for them to do? What could they have
Exactly.
done? There
They
was
did.
literally nothing to
Yeah.
do.
These guys did it all. So they just
Omega. Oh, and we
went out
forgot
there
to
and worked.
mention. We forgot to mention the part where Omega where Osprey. Yeah, they were good. There's his Mickey. Kicked him
Jacked
in the
his eye up.
face.
Yep.
He
Yep.
kicks so in the corner spot. He kicks Omega in the face. Right, Plain kicks him in the face, and you see Omega put his hand up to try to block it. The next one, Omega moves his hand. Plong kicks him again. Then the third one, Omega's able to block it. Then I think Omega doesn't know it's coming, and he hits a fourth one. Pow! The fourth one, he
Mm,
kicks him clean in the.
mm.
That's I've never seen a match that was so real, so violent with us hitting each other, yet so fake at the same time because we're
Yeah.
holding hands to do spots and we're making sure we balance
So
each other. We're
we're
doing these
hitting each
things.
other hard until it's time to go through this sequence. Then we're gonna start dancing.
And then, and when we get back to the hard hitting spot, going to whack the absolute dog crap out of each other because they were freaking both
Yeah, I mean, he was
swollen up.
bleeding.
Well, no,
Osprey was
because
bleeding.
Osprey got color and just the did you tell me you remember the color spot?
I don't.
Kenny Omega put the garbage can on top of his head, and then he double stomps it, and then he got out and he got slicey.
Yeah,
He had to
I remember
hide
that.
inside the garbage can to get
He
Anyway,
probably
go
cut
ahead.
him. So he probably was in there cutting himself for a minute or whatever. But anyway, Okada over.
Oh wait,
on
did I
Jay
just
White.
confuse
Varied
it? Wait,
ending here.
was that was that his match or was that the ladies? I think I just confused the ladies match. I think that was the ladies
What
match
ladies
the other
match?
night, actually. The AW women's tag match. Ruby Soho, Willow Nightingale
I didn't
versus
see that. I didn't get to
Oh,
see that
okay.
show.
I'm sorry. That wasn't the spot in the Omega match. That's a spot from that. When Ruby Soho got the color.
Is that the same? Is that the same?
Ruby
Is that
Soho
the
got the
same
garbage can over the
match
head.
that Nightingale sat on the table?
Yes. And
Okay.
Anna Jay double stomped it, but the Anna Jay weighs like 10 pounds. So the garbage can barely caves.
Crumbles.
But then
So it
when
went
Ruby
like
Soho gets out, yo,
color. She's leaking all over the
no,
place.
she straight up ate a bottle of aspirins and drank a handle of Jack before she went out because she was leaking like there would no tomorrow. Anyway, back to it.
Okada and Jay White.
It was like
This was
that
weird.
Cairo syrup blood. The blood was like Cairo syrup at some points. It was so thick. Like her blood had that like viscosity. You could see the sheen on the blood as it was leaking. You're gonna love the match. If you like bloody matches, it's a bloody one. Yeah.
I'll put it on tonight so I can fall asleep. So yeah, this was awkward between Okada and White, this exchange here. I think he gave him the belt or something, or Red Shoes took the belt from him, then gave it to Okada, and then he was like stumbling and leaning on him. Right now, this picture of Jay White looks like he's like the
dry hump
drunk. He's like the drunk girlfriend, and Okada is just trying to play Call of Duty. And Jay's all over him. It's very weird, very weird. And then he falls, rolls out, and then walks away. It was a very weird ending to their match, and the match was good, but it's just a strange ending. I don't know.
You couldn't follow Omega Osprey.
That should have been the main event with all the nonsense they did. That should have been the main event. It sucks for them, but
4 minutes into the match, they used the exposed turnbuckle.
Yep.
4 minutes into the match of a 29-minute, and it never ended. That match had so many points where I was like, please God end. Please
gotta be
God
it.
end.
Kick out. Oh Lord.
Yeah. So I know there's gonna be someone who's gonna argue to say we're crazy. That match was 6.25 stars. Those kind of people who like those kind of things, you're gonna love it. For the rest of us, you'd be surprised how work rate does not translate into a good match.
Work rate. All right, let's move on. That's it for New Japan. Let's go back to the E. So this Monday coming up is Raw is 30. It is the go home show. The Raw go home show before Rumble. Lots of names. They already said they're going to be here. I'll just read some of them off. Undertaker, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, Nikki Bella, well, the Bella Twins. We have some matches. And there's only 3, so that's why we can be brief and just tell me out of those 3, which one do you look forward to seeing the most? So right now we have Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley for the United States title. We have Becky Lynch versus Bayley in a steel cage match, and we have the Usos versus the Judgment Day for the Raw Tag Team Championship.
Probably that tag match.
Yes. Did you see the promo? The lockdown promo?
The promo where Dom spits the truth, where Dom said, spitting hot fire.
Yeah, when Dom says, I think you guys are, what do you say? You think you guys are scared? I think you guys are just scared. And he said, oh, Vato. Jimmy gets on the mic. Oh, Vato, Vatos Locos forever, Holmes, huh? And then they start naming off all the teams they beat. The chemistry between Jimmy and Jay is very similar to the chemistry of the Briscoes that we saw, the mature Briscoes. Brothers who understand each other. Correct. Because he named a name, Lockdown. Another name, Lockdown. New Day, Knockdown. Like they just kept going over. This whole path started when we defeated you, Dominic and Rey Mysterio. Lockdown. They hit their whole Uso Penitentiary promo. Solid promo. And then they went at Solo, and Dom and Solo interacted. And then our favorite, Rhea stepped in. Mommy stepped in to not save, but to stick up for her little Dom. And phenomenal promo on Raw. I thought they did a great job to set up for a big match. I'm considering Raw's 30 pay-per-view. This is like a mini pay-per-view that
a
we're
little
going to see.
PLE, a little PLE.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Premium live event. Sorry. That's exactly what this was. I'm sure there's probably going to be like 6 matches tops on the card. That's what I'm thinking. And then you're going to have all these segments with legends and stuff and whatnot. But I agree with you. I think the Judgment Day versus the Usos is going to be big. I won't be surprised if that's not the main event because Roman's there, stuff like that. Who goes over?
Usos retain.
All right. Well, I'm going to do it to you now. What if the Judgment Day wins the titles and are now the Raw Tag Team Champions?
Fine.
Are you okay with that? Are you okay with them being tag champions?
Listen, at this point, the Usos have held on to the belts, have surpassed everything. They've solidified themselves. At this point, them holding the belts is just because they have them. But do they need the belts? Do the belts add anything to the story?
Does the reign change? Are they still the longest reigning tag team champions? Or does the reign stops when they lose the Raw belt?
I mean, the reign, a single long run reign, total days holding the belt, and they're number one all time,
right, but
with
what I'm saying is
200 whatever days now that they've been champs.
So they 5 something, ain't it? Ain't it 5
Oh,
something?
is it? Okay, with 500
like
something
2
days.
years now. Just as long as Roman's been champ, they're right behind him. They're right behind him.
Wow.
They won it, if I'm not mistaken, Thunderdome.
Okay.
When Dom and Ray were champions, I think they won it in the Thunderdome. So do you think that's what I'm saying? So if they drop the Raw belts, do they no longer say 500 some odd days as tag team champions, or they just keep running with that with the SmackDown title?
They'll keep running with that because they've said 500 some odd days, and that doesn't always include both belts. That includes They didn't unify the belts until recent,
like Roman. Yeah, like Roman.
Yeah.
Okay, just
So
a
I
question.
just think they'll just keep going. Yeah, no, I think they'll just keep going.
You think Roman? All right, question for you on Raw's 30. You think Roman interacts with some kind of legend?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Roman interacts with Dwayne.
I think this is also going to be a setup for Kevin. You think Dwayne's going to be there on Raw's 30?
I'm mad you I said that, you just kept talking. I was
thinking about Kevin Owens. Then you said Dwayne. I was like, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Whoa. Slow down. Hold on a second. No, yeah, I think they set up the final chapter between him and Kevin before we get to the pay-per-view. I think Shay shared it. I think this is the 3rd time in like 4 or 3 years that it's Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns in the main event of the Royal Rumble.
I don't know. Oh, he was Shay. Yeah.
I think it's like 3 years in a row, or 3 out of 4 years or something like that. I think there's 1 year it wasn't, but I might be wrong. But it's Roman, Kevin Owens, always at the Rumble. Okay, let's move on. We're almost taking it home. I said like 15, 20 minutes. We're almost taking it home. Let's preview said card that we're talking about. It's the Royal Rumble. Right now we have 5 matches, and to be honest, that might be everything. They might add one more match.
I'm thinking 5 is going to be.
I think everything is set because you got an hour for the men, an hour for the women.
Yep.
They might add a match or two because there's no tag title match right now.
But you got an hour plus entrances.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's at least an hour because the way they do. Okay, so 28, at least 56 minutes. Then you got to get to a finish. It's at least an hour you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So as of right now, we have the men's Royal Rumble match, the women's Royal Rumble match at the Royal. I'm sorry, let's do it this way. It's the Royal Rumble, WWE's Royal Rumble, January 28th, 2023, of course, at San Antonio, Texas, at the Alamo Dome. We have this cover's cool. You know, it's got all the people, all the different sets of people on there. Roman, Becky, Brock's even on the cover. I just realized that. Brock Lesnar's on the cover. Bobby Lashley, Cody's on the cover. So we'll mention that. So men's Royal Rumble match. We got the women's Royal Rumble match. We have Roman versus Kevin Owens for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. It's just for the Universal title. And then we have Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss in a single match for the Raw Women's Championship. So the SmackDown Championship, Women's Championship's not on the line.
Nope.
No tag titles on the line. No Intercontinental match. No United States Championship match. Although the United States title is being defended on Raw, There's the tag team titles being defended on Raw as well.
And
But
IC titles defended on SmackDown.
right, so but they're not on this pay-per-view so far. So oh, and did I forget? Did I forget Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight in a Mountain Dew pitch black match?
Yes, you did. You did
I did
say
forget
that.
that one. My question to you before we move on: what the hell is that?
Just as good as mine.
So here's my thought on this. This is obviously a sponsorship deal, and I guess it suits Bray Wyatt right now. So when the NXT introduced a new match, they made sure for weeks that we knew exactly what we were getting to watch. And when they went out there, they did exactly what they said it was. It was multiple men. There's going to be a penalty box. You lose, you get points. You win, you get points. You lose points. Totally understood what was going on. And then we were questioning how is this going to work, and it worked. Giving us anything, Vern, in this pitch black match. They're giving us a single thing.
I'll be honest,
except the commercial.
Mountain Dew. That's the only thing good is the Mountain Dew. It's Mountain Dew bringing back pitch black soda. So that's the only thing I know of.
So what do you think is going to happen? What do you think? Talk to me. What is this?
Honestly, pitch
what
black?
is this Mountain Dew pitch black?
I don't know. It's probably going to be something cinematic or not cinematic. I'm guessing it's probably going to be something a lights out match. Which again, what does that mean? I don't know. It means that they're going to wrestle in darkness, which would be absolutely stupid. Wrestle with hoods on. It's been done before. Like,
so,
to be honest,
I don't know. Here's my thought. I think we're going to get that that early Edge Judgment Day lighting, that kind of glow in the dark, weird darkness kind of lighting, and then it's
so just a regular match with purple blue lights. Even though when Seth Rollins has been on record complaining about how stupid it was when they worked with the red and black lights with the Fiend and how it made it impossible to wrestle because it's hard to work under the red and black light.
Yes.
I really hope not. Honestly,
we'll
if we see that stupid, that would be so dumb. Like just another match.
We'll see in 9 days.
Colored lights.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to ask you that question. Besides the Rumble matches. Okay, go ahead. My bad. What are you gonna say? You gotta ask.
No. I'm just saying. Because it reminds me of that John Cena thing. Remember when they did the pictures in the ring and it just remember he did the fireflies
against Bray. Well,
yeah,
that was pandemic. That was like WrestleMania and
fans. No, but remember so they were. Yeah, but I just think it doesn't work when you start messing with lights and you start doing different color lights because to add a visual effect. Because it works in spurts, but I'm just saying I really hope it's not what you're saying. It's going to be like they're going to turn the heights blue.
I think cinematically it works. You can do stuff like that when you're trying to make it look like a movie, but in front of a live crowd, you can't really do that much type of movie magic. But okay. Besides that match, besides the Rumble matches, what else are you looking forward to? That Sunday, not this week from Sunday. I got Bianca, Alexa so far, Bray, LA Knight, Roman, Kevin Owens.
Probably Roman, Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
probably the next big match I got my interest in. Yeah,
I think so too. Sammy get involved somehow,
or Sammy's the call. I think Roman doesn't lose the belt, but we get another step towards Sammy, the Sammy bloodline rift.
Okay, so like there's a like Sammy might have cost Roman the title, but Roman prevailed anyway.
Correct. I'm with you. Like Sammy botches something.
Yes.
Yeah. Roman can still clean it up, but it's still like the thing where kind of like last week, or Roman kind of like looks at him like where he hit him. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Where like Roman
the hug,
and like where Roman was mad. Remember Roman like talked himself up, and he was like, "Yo, you trying to take my spot? Yo,
yeah, that was
you trying to do this on me?" And he popped himself up into it, and like, because it's like he convinced himself that he was, and Sam was just like, wait. Like, I think, like, if anything, something like that, like, it'll just give another brick in that wall that it'll eventually, like, reluctantly, Sammy will be thrust in a position where he's going to have to turn no matter what, because
he's going to be confronted. He's going to be confronted. I agree. Okay, so I'm just gonna announce name who's been announced at the Rumble so far, and I just want your prediction for the Rumbles because we always play the Rumble game, and this will be the first time we have a podcast and we'll have the Rumble game going at the same time. So announced for the men's Rumble so far has been Kofi Kingston, Santos Escobar, Ricochet, who defeated Top Dollar to qualify on SmackDown. Did you see the promo that set up that match?
No, but I've heard that they turned them heel.
They took what the IWC was talking about Top Dollar, how he couldn't
2
get
weeks
over.
in a row now, apparently, or two angles in a
So
row.
they
with
were
Ricochet.
the boys in the back were watching Top Dollar botch his high flying move. They even replayed it on TV of him screwing up. Drew McIntyre hits a dive, I think 2 weeks ago, and they're like, now that's how a big man flies. I'm like, yo, y'all need to chill. Y'all need to chill. But anyway, it turned into a confrontation. Top Dollar walks in the room and they all start clowning him like it was a locker room, like a legit locker room. And then Ricochet says, oh, maybe I'll teach him how to fly someday or something like that. Turns into a shoving match. They have a match next time on TV. So then it turns into Ricochet defeating Top Dollar. I just wanted to mention that to you. I think this past week or that week they then turned heel. And then Braun came out.
I know that they beat up on him. That Hit Row
beat up on Ricochet.
on Ricochet.
Yeah, and then Braun came out. So we'll see where that goes. Austin Theory, Seth freaking Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, Rey Mysterio, Gunther, Cody Rhodes, and Omos have all been announced as well to be a part of this Rumble. That's 11 of the 30 entrants.
All right. So
any ideas?
My pick, it's
who goes over?
People, one or two people.
Sure. I think we've mentioned it, one of them a while back. So
Seth or Cody. It's either Seth or Cody.
There you go.
I'm saying this. One wins this, and if there is a elimination chamber, the other wins the elimination chamber. If there is no elimination chamber, then
is the elimination chamber for a title?
No, I think it has to be for the WrestleMania spot for the other
Okay.
the other belt.
The other belt. Roman wrestles twice. I feel like he is going to. This is why they're introducing it now. How the maybe I think the Usos and Roman wrestled twice at Mania because look how they split them defending their titles now. Let's introduce it in January, so when it's time for April, everybody's accustomed to it already, and it's like, oh well, now you guys are in the predicament of having to defend it twice. You know what I mean? Let's see what happens.
Makes sense.
I agree with you. I said Cody. I didn't see Seth, but Seth is on a freaking roll, man. Like this guy's been on it
say Seth
since
or Cody
last year.
Yeah. One of them too. It's got to be, because if one does it, I say if one gets this, the other one gets the other.
So I'm going to say this. I'm just go out on a whim and say it just to get it on the record. The Rock shows up at the Royal Rumble, wins the Royal Rumble match. Rock versus Roman. I'm saying it now. Why not? Why not? Just throwing it out there. See if
I hear you.
Yeah, why not?
Literally insane.
Because
that's as good. You might as well predict I'm going to show up at the Rumble and throw guys out.
Sure, why not? Why not? All right, for the women, we only got Liv Morgan, Candice LeRae, Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez. Is it a no-brainer? Rhea Ripley wins the Rumble.
Rhea or Raquel got to win it.
I don't think Raquel wins it either. I think it's Rhea. This is Rhea's Rumble to win. She hasn't won one yet.
So let's say they do a women's elimination chamber.
Okay.
Is that not Rhea's match to win?
Nope. I think that's Charlotte's. I think that's Charlotte's chamber. Because Charlotte's got nothing right now. I think Rhea wins. It's Rhea Bianca. Rhea goes over at Mania. I think so.
Interesting.
I think because they hinted at it in a promo. You
give us Rhea
once.
Bianca versus Rhea Charlotte.
Yes. Rhea Bianca's the Raw main event. It's got to be. It's the Raw match.
Yeah.
Because Rhea doesn't go on SmackDown. I think she's been on SmackDown once, I think. Judgment Day went on SmackDown one time, if I'm not mistaken. But they're Raw. They are Raw. I think that's what else is there for Bianca? Bianca Alexa, right? Bianca Alexa is this. From here, Bianca Alexa's Rumble. From here, we do Rhea. Rhea goes over at the Rumble. We do Rhea Bianca for 3 months till we get to Mania.
Okay.
So
it could work. Okay.
You got anything else? Anything else you want? Found the way that pencil, man.
No, man. Word. No,
out of here. All I got. 2:30. I feel like 2:30 is starting to become our like sweet spot.
Well,
from like
Yeah, but tonight was different. Tonight we
145 to
we
230.
Yeah, we really had a
We
moment
talked
with
about
our
Jay
boy
for a
Jay.
while.
Had a moment with
Yeah,
the
we
homie
had-
Jay, yo. I'm all down for the chat about the
So,
homie.
so if you think about it, if we didn't talk about Jay for about an hour, this show would have only been an hour and a half long.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's somber that we had to talk about Jay that way, but I'm glad we got to talk about him that way. Watch some promos,
Absolutely.
see some highlights like that. It was fun doing that. End the show with the but tonight we're gonna end it with "Reach for the Sky, Boy." You're gonna hear the shotgun, boom, boom, "Reach for the Sky, Boy," and all that's playing right now. Man, we're here. We made it.
Yeah,
What did I
man.
say? I'm already forgetting what I say. Usually I say the music's playing. That's how I usually start.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I know what I do. For my man, hold on. Let's see if I can figure out which hand's going where. For my man, Vernon Somoza. Touch that tip, buddy.
Ah.
I am Frank Champ Dam, aka Frank Champion. This is the Pay Window Podcast on the Sandbox Podcast Network.
Shout out to them.
Oh my God. You know what I was going to call this episode? I was going to call it the Kobe episode. It's episode 24.
Wow.
The Kobe episode. It's called R.I.P. Jay Briscoe. It's the Kobe episode. This is crazy. Just thinking about that. Wow. That's a wild way to end it. And with that being said, wow. I am me. He is him. We are they. All right. Say R.I.P. Jay Briscoe, Vern.
R.I.P. Jay Briscoe, Vern.
We out of here. Peace. That's wild.